All right, welcome to part 7 of my Pokemon HeartGold Randomizer No Box Nuzlocke. I just finished eating some food, and I have Courtney here. Hi, Courtney.
Hi.
Courtney's goldfish died.
Yes.
Which is
He's
sad.
3 years old.
3? That's pretty old.
Yeah, he was a carny fish.
Like a carnival fish? Like you got him at a carnival?
Yeah, Boris won it. Boris won him for me.
Boris won you a
died.
fish at a carnival?
Yeah.
That's pretty nice.
And he died. But 3 years is pretty long for a carny fish.
That's true. Did you know that goldfish can live really long? Actually?
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't know. The fish was acting weird for past a month.
Yeah. A lot of times what happens is that they don't have a big enough bowl.
So I gotta, get, a 5-gallon tank?
Yeah, pretty much. Goldfish get really big. If you ever seen those big koi fish?
Mm-hmm.
Those are just goldfish. You give them a big enough space, they grow.
So if I got one of those 5-gallon fish tanks, it would grow. And I get a new fish, it'll grow really, really big.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Or at least bigger. But so just real quick, I haven't played this since the last time I streamed it. I had been doing a lot of or not a lot of, but I had been doing at least an hour of I guess maintenance in between episodes, making sure all my Pokemon are at the right level, etc. This is where we actually were. Oh, Huey's calling.
Oh, I should look at the screen on the stream.
What's up? This is Huey. How are ya? How are your Pokemon doing? My Pokemon are a bit too energetic, Meryl especially. Every time it spots a trainer, it just charges ahead into battle. It gets to be a bit too much for me. Later. Click. So this is I didn't do that. I've been busy. I actually planned on streaming.
That you can't have a A, B, C conversation where you can pick what you want to say.
You want BioWare dialogue options in Pokemon Heart Gold? That wouldn't be. Yeah, because usually they hang up without you even saying anything.
Yeah.
And so it would be nice if you could be like, hey, do you want to battle again? Let's battle again. Let's be battle buddies. Eventually they should be asking me if I want to battle, but they haven't yet. So I'm starting to get worried that they won't. But Courtney, so I guess what I wanted to say was instead of doing things had been going a little smoothly. We did last episode we did lose Scyther, the Electabuzz.
Not smoothly.
Well, no, but I if I'm spending all this time making sure everyone's at a right level so that it won't be boring on the stream, maybe that's making it boring. Also, I've been busy. So
maybe not. Maybe if you just let everyone live, things would not be boring. That sounds like what comic book writers say when the character gets married and they gotta separate the characters again.
Well,
or start a reboot.
I think that the worst episode of this that I ever did, no one died. And I don't want to try to get people killed, but I do want to eliminate some of the safety net of being off stream and just go training for an hour or two. So I'm gonna do a little bit of trying to get Chikaze up. Chikaze is
I don't think anyone needs to die.
I'm not trying to get anyone killed. I'm just saying. Well, that's part of it, Courtney. Someone, see the list here on the stream of names.
Yeah.
They all died.
It sounded like you wanted them to die.
No, I didn't want them to die. It was very sad. But if it's a Nuzlocke, it should happen that people will die. So Courtney lost her precious fish. What was the fish's name?
Fish.
The fish's name was Fish?
Yeah, I wasn't that creative.
Sounds like you guys had a really good relationship.
We did. I just could never come up with a good name.
You had 3 years. You never got any better than Fish?
Well, I don't know. What if I gave him a name and he just didn't like that name? I just feel you can't really pick the name for the fish.
What do you wanted the fish to pick its own name?
Yeah, I with a dog, they can understand, they can pick their own name, kinda, they can learn to pick their own name.
How can they learn that?
Like, I was watching, like, how dog trainers, like, those helper ones that pick up pills for their owners.
Yeah, yeah.
Like sometimes they're named differently than what they were at the dog academy, so they have to be renamed.
The dog academy, okay.
Yeah, so like they can.
Oh, where they train the dog. Yeah, got it. Gotcha.
Yeah, so they can be taught to learn a different name. But like, what if those dogs like their original name and now they got a new slave name?
I don't know. First of all, I don't know that the dog has an opinion about the name, because it doesn't really have the same sort of identity as we have. It's got an identity, but it's a different kind, and so it doesn't really know that its name is a name. It just associates a sound with what we call it. So it don't.
I don't know. I read warrior cats once. They seem to have names.
Oh yeah, we read that in science class.
I'm just saying, I just feel like they would tell me their name.
Right, but those
like
are made-up cats that can talk.
Yeah, but okay, like a baby. Like, what if the baby didn't like their name and they come up with a new name?
That's okay. So Ice Cream Jones has a good idea. You should have put a chart of letters on the tank for fish to choose a new name. And I was thinking sort of the same thing, but instead I was thinking just you should put a bunch of different names on sticky notes and stick it to the tank, and then whichever one it hangs around by most, that could be its name. Or what you could do is you could do a Ouija board and try to summon the spirit of the fish. This is pre-death. I know now it's dead, but you could have tried to communicate with the fish via Ouija board.
Can't you communicate with the dead better now that the fish is dead?
I don't think that anything about the Ouija board works better or worse than any other way. Because it's fake. It's a fake toy. So it does whatever you want it to do, because it's any sort of trust you put in it is all on you.
And what if fish like the name fish?
I mean, it's very direct to the point. So right before we started, Courtney, you said talking about YouTube, you said I subscribe to a lot of preppers and homesteaders.
Yes.
And I would like you to talk a little bit more about that.
Okay. Well, you were talking about how all preppers are racist. And
that's not what I said, but that is something else that I believe.
It's not like what's that saying? Like, not all sickness is cancer, but all cancer is sickness.
Yeah.
But yeah, but like you were talking about how like there's a weird genre of people that live in Australia that just like make mud huts and like cook fish with their hands.
Yeah, and then like bow fish and then cook fish in the woods on a stove they made with rocks. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like this is a genre that only happens with Australian people.
It's very common with Australians, yeah. But I was saying I was not conflating those people with preppers, but I did say that a lot of those people I bet are racist.
Yeah, but see, I don't think they're racist because one, they don't talk. Two, they don't wear a shirt or shoes.
You're saying that if a racist never talked, they wouldn't be racist?
I mean, technically, yeah.
How? If you are a racist in your head, you're still a racist. If a racist takes a vow of silence, they're not good. They're now not good people.
Yeah, but it'd make life a lot better if they took a vow of silence.
Yeah, sure, but they're still racist.
Yeah, I feel like your words could do a lot more damage by being racist with your words than being silent and being racist.
I think a lot of people are more racist with their actions than their words, because a lot of racism happens without anyone saying anything.
Well, listen, they're making mud huts and making like houses for their fish so they can eat them later, and show me how to like make a water filtration with two
Listen,
fish.
this isn't the part I'm interested in. I want to talk about the homesteaders that you follow on YouTube. What does a homesteader do?
Okay, homesteader is different from a prepper, but they're still like in the same Venn diagram.
Are they racist like preppers are?
No, they're just like farm people that don't want to ever leave their house ever. So they only like, they're just like one step above a farmer is where, or like an Amish person. And like where they have a computer and they like look up how to like, how to preserve eggs over the winter by using lye. Yeah, or like pickling them, or like how to like dry the eggs down, dehydrate the eggs. Or no. One thing I learned that was really cool is that you can cook food and then like dehydrate it yourself. So that way you can just pour hot water on the food and it comes back to life. So that way food doesn't go bad. Well, kind of. Basically, I guess when you say it, it's food tea, yeah.
It's food tea.
Yeah, but I mean, like, the meals look good, like, because they like taking this pasta, and I did dehydrate my own pasta.
Pasta
and, like,
comes dehydrated.
No, but they dehydrate the sauce, too, and, like, all the cheese and stuff, and, like, all the mixings and stuff that go in it.
Yeah, so it's just like a powder?
Yeah, and then you just dehydrate it, and it's all crunchy, and then when you put the water back in, it turns out perfectly fine.
So why do you like these guys?
Because what if when the happening happens, I'm not ready, and so I'm getting ready by prepping.
You're worried about the happening?
Mm-hmm.
You're worried about the plants fighting back?
Well, not the plants fighting back. I just think when the revolution comes, and it's not like the good revolution where we kill all whitey. It's the revolution where they put us all in concentration camps in Walmart. At least I want to be prepared to live on the land until they take me to their Walmart concentration camps.
But is watching, because you aren't doing any of this. You're not dehydrating any food. Are you?
I am.
You are?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have a stockpile?
Yes, but very small. But
you're a prepper. You yourself have been prepping.
Yes, and trying to learn how to homestead.
How much food do you have?
Only a month's worth. I think I'll like start prepping more if I ever get a house, so that way I can start collecting my water, and then collecting more like months worth of food.
Do you also have So you have a month's worth. The month's worth of food, is that all dehydrated, or do you also have like cans, like canned beans or whatever?
It's canned food mostly, but I mean like I have like some dehydrated stuff.
What sorts of what do you got? Do you have beans? You got canned vegetables? What kind of cans do you have?
Like beans, vegetables. There's a lot more vegetables than we think of that can come in cans. Than we think of,
I know all about canned vegetables. What do you have that you think I wouldn't think about?
Jackfruit. But I guess that's like if you're a bougie prepper.
If you're a bougie prepper, you have jackfruit. Well, jackfruit also doesn't really have a taste.
Yeah, it does.
No.
I mean, you gotta put like the meat taste in it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You put like it tastes like whatever you mix it with. Yeah, sure. It's kind of sweet. It's kind of like a water. It's like a water chestnut, kind of. Canned fish. Do you do canned fish?
Yeah, I think canned fish is like 10 times better than like cooking fish.
Ew, really?
Yeah.
I love fish. I had canned fish for dinner tonight, just now.
Have you tried canned sardines?
I have had canned sardines. I like canned mackerel. That's my favorite canned fish.
I like canned sardines better.
But I had, tonight for dinner, I had slices of tomato with rice vinegar and olive oil, goat cheese, canned fish, and then some slices of ciabatta bread.
That sounds fancy.
It was not fancy. It was canned fish and raw tomato.
I don't know. I get Martha Stewart Living in my mailbox. I never subscribe to Martha Stewart. I just think it comes in every mailbox. But like one of the recipes were like canned fish, and then they had like it plated all pretty, so the canned fish was like rustic.
Okay,
but, like,
yeah.
White ladies love canned fish because it's like rustic and like different and unique.
I think that people do. Oh, I would have loved to have a Vigoroth.
Oh.
I'm talking about the game. I think a lot of effort. There's a lot of effort in like rich white culture to make poor people stuff seem cool and fancy, and plating canned fish in a way that is appealing to Martha Stewart magazine readers is a very Martha Stewart type thing to do, I think.
Yeah, but what you described is like exactly the recipe. Is like they put like like a white plate and then like that brown paper that white people love. What is that brown
Oh, these are
paper
two different
called?
routes. Route 39. This is a new route. I can catch something here if I want to. Someone keep that in your head. Keep that in mind. Astrobot says tomatoes go really well with canned fish. They absolutely do. I have been my friend's bar that I go to. They have a small food menu. It's all like stuff that they made pretty much, and one of the owners does like a work share at a farm, and so he's always bringing in fresh tomatoes from the farm. And here's the thing. Here's the secret about tomatoes. I think a lot of people don't know this. When you go to a supermarket, no. Well, that's also true. But if you go to the, I'm being delivered more different food. Thank you. Thank you very much. And an iced tea. If you go to a supermarket and you go to where they have vegetables and you say, oh, boy, I sure should get me a tomato. And you go to the area where the tomatoes are, and there's 3 kinds of tomatoes. There's tomatoes, and it just says tomatoes. There's plum tomatoes and cherry tomatoes, and that's what you get. There are other kinds of tomatoes, and they're better. The thing
I
that's...
don't know, like, I never look at the label. I just look at big tomato and them tiny
Well, that's what I mean. The big tomato or the tomato on the vine, it just says tomato. And that's the worst kind of tomato in maybe the entire world.
The vine tomato?
Just the regular or red kind that they sell at supermarkets. Those are bullshit tomatoes. Go find somewhere where they sell other kinds of tomatoes because they're really fucking good. I like... zebra tomatoes, green and red zebras. Those are the best kind of tomatoes.
Oh,
they're so
like
good.
I have to go to Whole Foods.
I don't know where you gotta go because I only can find them from my friend's bar in Providence. So, heirloom tomatoes pretty good, but even that's super similar to the regular kind of tomato that they have in a grocery store. I don't even know what kind that is because it just says tomato on it.
I just get whatever tomato's the hardest because I don't like soggy tomatoes.
Ew, gross.
So as long as the tomato's still hard, it's still a good tomato to me.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong.
Ugh.
I mean, what you're saying is I like unripened tomato.
Yeah. Well, no, you eat mushy tomatoes.
Ripe tomatoes.
I don't like it when they're all soft. That's gross.
Well, here's the other thing. You're eating the wrong kind of tomato, too. So I can't blame you for not liking it, because it's the worst version of tomato in the world.
The hard ones.
Astronaut says, how does it taste different than zebra ones? It has a stronger flavor. It is both at the same time sweeter and more, I guess, umami would be the word, and less less vegetal. Less vegetal, but it's sweeter and more umami. Vegetal, yeah. That's a flavor. That's a flavor type. I've never had a bumblebee tomato, but I encourage everyone to Google image search green zebra. It's a striking tomato. It is striking. So they had been serving tomatoes just with like olive oil and maybe some spices, and it was super good. I had been getting it and Parmesan cheese. And so I was at the supermarket getting sesame oil, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to get some canned fish. Oh, and they also had my first canned fish that I ever had, which was mackerel in chilies and oil. and it was super
You should
good.
definitely search out the sardines and olive oil.
I've had sardines. Sardines are good. I just prefer mackerel. In general, I prefer mackerel every day. Here's the other thing about mackerel. Mackerel is the most overlooked. Mackerel is the unsung fish of sushi. You get yourself some, what is it? I think it's Saba mackerel. That shit is the best. That is like the best sushi fish, I think, in the world.
Mm.
Do you like sushi?
Yeah, I just like the raw fish. So like when they have all-you-can-eat buffets in Atlanta, I try and always go for the more fish than the rice ones because the rice is there to trick you.
Wait, I'm sorry. Why is the rice there to trick you?
Because it makes you fill up faster.
Oh, okay. Well, rice is really good. So if you fill up on rice, it's not, But you're right. If it's an
I'm
all-you-can-eat,
allergic to rice.
if it's an all, no, you're not. Are you?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. I'm allergic to chicken and rice, but I still eat it. At most, it just gives me like explosive diarrhea, but I still eat it anyway.
Wait, chicken and rice?
Yeah.
You're allergic to chicken?
Yeah.
I don't know if you can be allergic to chicken.
Well, I had allergy shots for it.
Tooth Monster wants to know, Courtney, why would you have fish at an Atlanta buffet?
These Atlanta buffets are pretty good. Like the sushi, like nori costs like $35, but it's real good.
Oh, so you're going to like rich buffets?
Yeah.
Yeah. Courtney's rich.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you're kind of rich.
No, I'm not. Stop lying to people. You bitch, stop lying to people so I can get a job.
You can get a job. A lot of rich people have jobs. Honestly, more rich people have jobs than poor people do. There are more
How
poor
come?
people, but I'm talking percentage-wise. Because
Well, I think more rich
someone
people
will
have
always
jobs.
hire a rich person. Rich
Why
people,
would they hire a rich person?
because rich people get whatever they want.
Oh, people think I'm anti-rice. It's not that I'm anti-rice. I still eat rice. It's just that it gives me explosive diarrhea.
Seafood is really good. Ice Cream Jones, I know, this isn't useful, but you should like fish instead of not liking fish. It depends how long. Maybe you like it now. Maybe it's been long enough. I learned, here's something that I've never been a picky eater, but I learned only in the last few years that a lot of the stuff that I really didn't like when I was a kid, or that I didn't prefer, because even as a kid I wasn't picky, but all the stuff that I thought that I didn't like was just because I was eating the wrong
child?
versions of it. No, it's not that I was a child. It's that I was exposed to foods in the worst possible circumstances. So I spent years thinking that I didn't like mushrooms, when actually I love mushrooms, because the first time that I had a mushroom was on like a Domino's pizza. And so it's like, that's gross. It turns out mushrooms are excellent. I love mushrooms. But
I still think most kids don't like mushrooms because kids are just, their taste buds aren't ready for like more flavors other than like cheese pizza and hot dogs.
But I wasn't picky. I would eat pretty much anything. I liked trying new foods when I was a kid. But there's a lot of foods that I was exposed to, I would say improperly, or just like unluckily. Shrimp is one where you're kind of right, where I love shrimp now, whether it's raw or cooked. But the first time I had shrimp was shrimp cocktail, and I hated it. I really didn't like it at all. But I tried, different kinds of shrimp as a kid. I tried like raw shrimp, and then cooked shrimp, and then like shrimp scampi, and then I finally tried fried shrimp, like coconut shrimp, at an old country buffet, and I was like, okay, all right, that's pretty good. I can get on board with this. And then I started liking other versions of fish, or of shrimp.
The old country buffet shrimp is dangerous. It probably was like sea monkeys covered in batter.
No, they were. I mean, they weren't good shrimp, but
You just like the fried part on the shrimp.
Right, but that let me appreciate the shrimp taste for the first time, and then I was able to find other shrimp type things that I liked. And now I like all kinds of shrimp. There's not a single seafood that I've tried that I didn't like.
I think a lot of seafood isn't good with cheese on it.
I think you're right. I don't. I think that's why a lot of it doesn't have cheese on it. Fried fish, arguably, you can throw some cheese on there. It's not
Also,
how I
think,
prefer
like,
it.
yeah, also, I think stuff that's wrapped in bacon isn't good as people think it is.
Yeah, I have a lot of issues with bacon. It's kind of a lot of times it sucks. When you make bacon the right way, it is one of the
Wait,
best.
how do you like your bake?
I like, I guess the easy answer would be like, I like it thick cut and I don't like it super crispy.
Yeah, I like bacon as raw as it can be, as acceptable as raw it can
Wait,
be.
so you like hard tomatoes and mushy bacon?
Yeah, I just don't like it when the bacon has that crispiness on it. Like some people like that jerky bacon, like where it's so dry that it snaps in half.
I don't like that. Here's what I like. I like it nice and caramelized, chewy, fat, no burned. There's a big difference between crispy and burned. And I think a lot of people like burned bacon, but they say they like crispy bacon.
Well, they probably don't know any better.
You're right. They probably don't know any better. I really like getting like a whole bacon, because you can get bacon before they've cut it. You can just get a whole bacon and you can cut it yourself. That's the way to get bacon, because then you can really control how thick it is and how much you cook it. Thin bacon just burns straight away. It really sucks.
Have you ever tried that bacon cooker where it's like the rows of sticks that stand on like a grease tray?
I don't
and
know
you
about
microwave
this. No, I would never microwave bacon.
No. You definitely gotta try this tool, because this is the only way I cook bacon. Even like the thinner strips of bacon, it makes like the bacon easier to clean up and cook, and you can use all that bacon grease that it catches, and you can use that for other foods.
But you can already do that if you cook it in a pan.
Yeah, and then like all the bacon grease is popping on my hand.
No.
You should really try this tool. I forgot what it's called, but
I'm
someone
not gonna
Google
do
it. It's like it works perfectly. It makes perfect bacon every time.
I would never do that.
Why? Are you a snob?
Yeah, I guess I'm a snob. Yeah.
Like on like YouTube videos where they're like cooking food, and they're like, I'm gonna show you how to make like an easy breezy like summer salad, and like this one video on Bon Appetit, like this woman pulled out like
great
a fucking
videos.
whole
Love
pineapple. Yeah, Brad is like definitely someone. He's like my top. Brad Leone, he's my top 10. I would bang.
Oh, same. Yeah, top 10, easy top 10.
Yeah. Like he's my only human man I can think of that I would want to ever bang.
He's the only human man.
Yeah, like real life.
He's great.
Man.
You know what he is? Do you want to know? Do you want to know the secret to Brad Leone? The secret to Brad Leone is that he's Chris Pratt if Chris Pratt never got ripped.
Ah shit. I think that's my type, is like fat Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Cause someone I think one of my old roommates said Forrest looks like Chris Pratt, and I was like, no, he doesn't. And like later when I was looking at Forrest, like, oh crap, he does look like fat Chris Pratt. So I think that's definitely my type, is like a Chris Pratt kind of looking guy. But only fat Chris Pratt. Skinny Chris Pratt makes me want to vomit.
If you have not seen the Bon Appetit YouTube, they have some good videos, and they have their test kitchen manager. His name's Brad Leone, and he's the best person on the internet that talks about food. My favorite thing about Brad is that he doesn't care about recipes or rules or safety or health. And so instead of telling you how much stuff to put in something, he'll just be like I don't know, just however much. I don't care. And then he'll complain about having to put gloves on because he's like, who cares about wearing gloves?
But like on Bon Appetit, they're like, I'm gonna show you how to make an easy salad, and this woman pulled out like she pulled out a whole coconut, and she's like, well, we're just gonna open this coconut, and I'm gonna open it with a hammer and like a chisel. I was thinking like, why do food snobs always do this? They always have to take out like the whole coconut and like cut it open like with all these expensive like a hammer and a knife. You can just go and get like a bag of shredded coconut. You don't need to go like open a whole coconut in your kitchen with a hammer. But the
coconut is the fresh coconut. It's cheaper to just buy a coconut than to buy the shredded coconut, and it tastes better.
Oh my god, that's such a weird food snob thing. I don't understand. Like, I can just go to Kroger's and get me like, I don't know if Kroger's is everywhere, but Kroger's is like the more fancy store. But like, you could just go to a Kroger's and just buy a pre-shredded thing, and you can just sprinkle it on a salad. I don't need to like take out a jackhammer and a knife to open up.
It's not that hard to open up a coconut. If you want, you can just throw it on the concrete.
But now I'm gonna get dirt in my coconut.
Wash it off.
Then what's the point of trying to do all that damn work? You know, I'm gonna have to take out all this gravel and rock down my coconut.
I think that this is the difference, Courtney, between you and me. One of the several differences is that you say, why don't you just microwave your bacon? It's easier. And I say, I would rather have 5 more minutes and have better tasting bacon.
We need to have a cook-off, because I know I would be a better cook than you.
I'm an excellent cook. You can't beat me at a cook-off.
No, I'm definitely sure I could beat you.
Okay, fine. You'll bring your pre-shredded coconut and your microwave bacon. Mm-hmm. And I'll bring whatever I have. A whole coconut and my full bacon.
If this was like Food Wars, the anime, you'd be like one of those snob people that would be like making all this fancy dumb stuff, and I'd be like the dumb hero that would be like cooking like ramen out of like packets.
Why is the hero doing ramen out of packets?
There was like some explanation about why like he figured out how to like cook ramen and turn it into udon or something. It was real weird, but it was real emotional. It made sense at the time.
I don't know what this is, by the way. I haven't seen it.
Oh, you'd like it. It's good.
Yeah?
Yeah. You just gotta get past that first episode where they try to make everything sexy, and then like it goes to everyone's naked and cooking.
Huh, that's a bizarre first episode for a cooking anime.
Yeah, but it makes more sense when you get deeper into the episodes.
Alright, Courtney, what's your favorite thing to cook?
Pancakes.
How do you make them?
Out of a box.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing because there's nothing wrong with boxed pancakes. I make pancakes out of the box probably half the time when I make pancakes. Mm-hmm. But when you said pancakes, I knew that if I asked, how do you make them, and that you would say out of the box.
You tricked me.
I did, yeah. What, did you put anything in them?
Well, sometimes you can make meat pancakes where you take some potato powder and you take some cabbage, and then like you take what else do you put in it? You take potato powder and you take pancake mix and you take like cabbage and then you put seasonings in it and you can make it into a meat pancake.
Wait, but there's no meat in it.
Well, you can put the meat on top of it. Well, it's more of a savory.
A savory pancake? Okay. You know, I've never made a savory pancake, but I have had them and they're quite good. I like banana pancakes.
I never had banana pancakes, but I don't like bananas.
You don't like bananas?
They're not crunchy enough.
I like apple pancakes are good.
Well, if it's in a, I don't like mushy fruit or mushy vegetables. Everything
but if
has to be super hard.
If it's in a pancake, it's the same consistency as the pancake, pretty much. It's a little bit slimy, but when you're eating it with the rest of the pancake, it just tastes all like one thing. Would you eat that?
Probably, but I like making my pancakes extra crispy.
What?
Well, you can make them crispy.
Do you mean burned, or do you just mean, like, crispy?
Crispy.
What color is it?
It's normal color. You just gotta make them really thin.
Okay, oh yeah, good point. I make really, really thick pancakes. My pancakes, look like a cake. Look like cakes.
Oh. Well, no, I don't like the thick pancake. I mean, I've always wanted to try it, but it just... I mean, I just feel like that'd be too much pancake.
No, it's fine. I mean, because you can make them thick but small. Anyway, if you want to do a banana pancake, you just make it like regular, pre-slice the banana, and then when you pour the batter, while it's cooking on one side, just put the bananas on top on the other side. And so then you flip it, and it sort of grills the banana with the... It's very good. You get, like, grilled banana pancakes. It's nice. Rowan says, like crepes for your thin pancakes. Are you making them as thin as crepes?
Yeah, the last batch I was able to get them extra thin like crepes. I put more water in it than normal. Or, not water, milk.
You could also, I guess, put water in there. All right, we're kicking all these guys' butts. All right, Courtney, any other food-related stuff before we move on?
Not that I can think of right now.
Okay. What do you think about the Pokemon games so far? You've been watching, kind of. Not like right now. I mean, but I mean in the previous streams you've been in the chat.
I don't like it when they die.
No, me neither. It's sad. I'm trying to keep them from dying. As best as I can, I'm trying. Any other Pokemon related observations, or is that your big takeaway?
Like I said, I think Ditto would be good to eat.
Why?
Because he's squishy and he looks like Jello.
Do you think when Ditto transforms into other Pokemon that the taste of Ditto transforms?
No, I definitely don't think the taste would transform. It'd still probably be the same, like, gelatinous taste.
Huh. Why do you think that is? Because they can do all the moves.
Yeah, but, I mean, like, it would still have the same insides, where it's just, goo, but it's, like, glue shaped into a different form.
I don't know. I think that the taste would change.
Because, like, is it changing on a molecular level? Or, because I would just think, like, it just, like, like, transformers itself into, like, the shape, and then, like, it just has an outer casing of what it should look like.
Well, in order to learn all those other moves that it doesn't know, that it can't learn, I think it has to change on a deep enough level where it physically is different.
I mean, I guess.
Victor says, does anyone like the taste of lemonade, but instead of using sugar, you use salt?
That sounds like it'd be good.
Well, I know that I work in an Indian restaurant, and they sell a drink called Nimbu Pani, which is lemonade that is sweet, but you add salt and cumin to it, and those are very good.
That sounds like it definitely would be good, because, like, I like to drink the pickle juice and, like, we call it olive juice.
Olive oil? Do you drink olive oil?
No, olive juice. No, like, you buy the olives. You buy the olives in, like, a can or a jar, and, like, it has all that olive juice in it. Just slurp that right up.
I don't like olives. That's one food I still hate. Green olives make me, like, throw up just to smell them.
I love green olives. Like, if I ever had to pick a drink, like an alcoholic drink, it'd probably be, like, a martini with no alcohol. Just give me the olives and all the olive juice.
So you like you like an extra dirty martini.
Yeah. But you know what, like, a salty lemonade is? Wouldn't that just be a non-alcoholic lemonade? Because, like, you know how, like, some girl drinks have, like, the salt rim on it?
You're talking about margaritas?
Yeah, so what's the difference between putting the salt on the rim and just putting the salt in the drink?
I would object to you calling margaritas girl drinks. That is is a traditional...
They are fancy drinks?
They are not that fancy. I mean...
Well, they look
They're
fancy.
classic. They're not fancy, they're classic.
Okay, classic. But, I mean, like, like, those Like if you go to Applebee's and get like the big margarita, fuck you, and like it's just like 7 pineapples and then like 5.
See now,
like
you're talking about like
and,
frozen margaritas. Those are bullshit. Those aren't classic.
Oh.
Ooh, wow, Belkia. Hey, big boy. Ooh, big boy.
Oh yeah, he says big boy a lot. Brad guy.
I'm talking about Brad Leone.
Yeah, too bad he's married, so I can't find him attractive.
He's got 2 kids. You're allowed to find married people attractive.
No, I have a staunch stance on people who have kids are gross and unattractive. I mean, not like if you.
Why are you making rules that are conflicting directly with your mind?
Well, it's just that, see, if I ever met someone in real life that had a kid or was already previously married, I would totally I'd be like vomiting out my mouth. Gross.
If you ever met anyone in real life that was married or had a kid, you would be vomiting out your mouth.
No, like, I mean, like, if they were attracted to me and I was attracted to them, that'd be gross to me.
Why?
Because, ew, gross. I wouldn't want to be with someone who had a kid.
But you can
Gross.
be attracted to someone without... You can be attracted to someone without even wanting to be with them.
No,
Let alone
I don't
actually
feel that
being
way.
with them.
No, I don't feel that way. You either be with someone or you don't be with someone, or everyone. If you have to be with someone if you find them attractive, or you're not with anyone and you don't find them attractive. Duh.
Why do you think that?
Well, I don't find anyone attractive unless I'm attracted to them. Duh.
Right, but... That's not what I asked.
Wait, I feel like I'm missing the question.
Yeah, okay. I'm saying, just because you find someone attractive doesn't mean you have to be with them or even have to want to be with them.
Yeah, but then I wouldn't find them attractive because I only find people that I want to be with attractive.
But I don't think most people are like that.
I mean, like, there's good-looking people and there's people that you're attracted to. Am I right?
I'm not, I think that good-looking people is a narrower category than people that I'm attracted to. Not a separate category. It's contained within it.
So, see, I think they're 2 separate categories. Like, there's a bunch of good-looking people in the world. They're all beautiful and stuff, but am I attracted to them? No. Gross. Vomit. I would never be attracted to them, but I can tell objectively they're good-looking.
Oh, I'm only talking about to you. I'm not talking about some sort of objective standard, because I don't think that exists.
What do you mean?
I think that there's a largely agreed upon standard, but it's not objective. It's like a culturally enforced view of bodies.
Well, yeah, that too.
But I'm ignoring that. I'm just talking about you yourself, how you personally feel.
Yeah, and I don't like married people or people with kids. Gross.
But you just said that Brad Leone's in your top 10 people to bang.
Yeah, but I would never get the chance to bang him in real life.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. You're still attracted to him.
Yeah, so he's in the good-looking camp.
So you're saying that to you, he is good-looking. You find him to be good-looking, but you're not attracted to him.
Yeah, but if there's a fantasy world...
Why are you doing all this work? Why are you doing all this work in your head? That's so much work. Why not just say, some people are attractive, but I don't want to be with them?
I guess you could say that too.
Yeah, it's just so much less work mentally than to be like, no, I'm not attracted to Brad Leone. Because you are.
Yes, then I pick whatever that is.
Okay. How's it going besides your fish, Courtney?
I'm in school. I'm working at the salon. And I got salon stories.
What's your salon stories?
Well, I got multiple stories.
Welcome to Salon Stories. What do you mean? Explain what you mean by salon.
Well, I work at the student salon, which people should be, which people should come. The Atlanta Tech, college, where, and just go to the salon and then request me. but like but one thing I gotta also say, any of your fans, I don't know where y'all are finding some of my information and contacting me and sending me messages. I don't appreciate that.
Wait,
either.
what's happening?
Like some of your fans, I don't appreciate some of y'all. I mean, I understand some of your fans will find some of my contacts and piece together information to contact me. That's
Contact you how?
They just contact me.
In what way?
Like,
Through which means?
I don't want to say.
Contact you on the phone?
I don't want to say.
Well, you have
But I
to
don't
say,
wanna make
because
you
if
feel
they're
bad.
sending you tweets or sending you to your Etsy store, you tell people your Twitter and your Etsy store.
Yeah, but I'm wondering, like, was it like one of my old ones? One of my very old, like the times when I didn't change my card, so I had my phone number attached to the card, and like that's my fault.
Did you ever have? Was it your phone? Did someone contact you over the phone?
Yes.
Don't do
but
that.
Like it was like it's my work phone. So like luckily it was that.
So
and like
what was it about? Was it about like commissioning you or something?
no, I don't want to really say the details because
Okay.
I just don't want to make them feel bad. But I
Okay.
just want to make like a general statement. Like, listen, I give you my information. Like, you guys can. I'm only gonna say this one. All you guys can contact me through Twitter, and I will always answer. You can contact me through my Tumblr, and I might answer, but I probably won't because I don't check my Tumblr that much. And y'all can contact me in person if you go to the salon and request me. But any other time, like any of you guys find any information, or y'all somehow find me, because like you're able to coordinate where I pinpoint my stuff through Twitter, I'm not gonna talk to you if it's not through Twitter or Tumblr or through like a salon.
How about
Do
your
not
Etsy
talk to
store?
me. Oh yeah, Etsy's fine. That's also fine too. Don't contact me. Don't ask me to talk about Kyle. Don't ask me to give you details about Keith. I'm never ever gonna give you any information about Kyle or Keith.
Seconded. I won't even give you information about me.
Oh wow.
So tell me about the salon.
The salon. So anyway, like it's like, you know, it's a group of girls, and like so most of the salon people that come in, and also one thing, if you guys are trying to hit on me, which I don't understand why you would, because I try to give off an aura like none of you, I will never ever date a fan, ever.
Honestly,
Never in my
you
life,
definitely give off that vibe. You give off the vibe like you don't like anything about anyone.
Oh yes. So
Let alone
I
a
just wanna-
stranger.
So I want to stomp on that, but I think a lot of your fans are just very into just dominating women, so maybe that's why they're contacting me.
Well, hold on. I don't think that is true, but I do think that a lot of people are, and maybe whoever contacted you is.
But I'm just gonna give that. Just don't ever think y'all are ever gonna date me or have a chance with me.
Yeah. Don't
Or
contact
ask-
Courtney.
Or get information about Keith or Kyle. I don't understand. Has that ever happened to you where people ask you for information about either me or Keith or anyone else that comes on the show?
No, never.
Wow, I wonder if it's just because I'm a girl and I.
Well,
see-
it like it has happened, like, but on like online, like on Ask.fm or whatever.
Mhm.
And it's mostly never been anything that I thought was too weird. But yeah, I said no, it hadn't, but actually yes, it has.
I feel like I wonder if it gets worse because I'm a girl and just
Yeah, it
men
does.
don't know how to talk to women.
Yeah, I think that's true.
But for like the salon stuff, like the first week, I was like, it was so stressful because I didn't know what to do, and the teacher wouldn't tell us what to do. And like the salon is just full of old people. Like they want to get like a $10 haircut and a $10 color, and then fight with you because they have a senior discount. So they only pay $5 for a haircut. And then like, so like a lot of these girls are getting upset, and these old people would start, you know, making fights with them. Or like, I missed one day of class, right? And I missed like the morning class because I was like, I'm just not feeling it. I'm having a stroke. I'm dying. And so like, this girl's like what happened to you? Why weren't you here? And I was like, what happened? She's like, this old woman tried to start a fight with one of the students because they were working the desk. And she's like, well, how come I can't get an appointment? Blah, blah, blah. I pay my $10 and blah, blah, blah. I don't understand why y'all don't have enough girls working. I pay my $10. I should be able to get like a person to do this.
Is it a subscription? Did she already pay $10?
No.
So she hadn't actually paid yet.
No, but she was trying to, like, so the girl said, like, this woman was trying to start a riot in the salon because she couldn't get her appointment. And so, like, but that's not the worst of it, because it's all people over 60. So, you know, like, a lot of the times you get called and, like, can you tell me where the doctor or the dentist's office is? And I'm like, this is the salon. And they're like, well, I'm over 65 years old. You should look up on your computer and tell me where the dentist's office is. I live this long and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, click.
Man, those are some aggressive old folks.
So I had to, like, and then this one girl, she like real small and little. And like, I can already tell, like, she's so small and timid that she's gonna get picked on. So I was looking out for her at the desk, and like, this woman kept hassling her on the phone, telling her like, oh my God, I can't believe why you don't understand all this and blah, 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 blah. And I already made it clear, like, I don't want to work the front desk. I hate working the front desk. Because if you work the front desk, that means you have to be the manager for the day. Like, I don't want to be a manager. And then, so then I saw this girl, she was just like almost in tears, and then she handed the phone to this other girl. And this other girl started like getting berated by this old woman. And I was like, this is never gonna end. And I was like, give me the phone. And I was like, then they gave me the phone. I was like, hi, I'm Jennifer, the manager. What do you need? And so then I had to like line my way.
Not true, by the way. You're not Jennifer, the manager.
No. So like, they had to be. So then like this old one was like, oh my God, I'm so glad the manager's talking to me. Blah blah blah. And it's like this old bitch of a woman, and it was like she just wanted to talk to a manager so she could feel important. And I told my mom that, and she's like, yeah, it's an old person thing. Old people just like to think that they're talking to a manager. And I was like, well, why? How come they just don't know it's like a dumb bitch like me that's saying, hi, I'm Jennifer, the manager.
That happens at my job too, where it's like there's all the old regulars all get annoyed if the manager doesn't go over and say hi. And it's like, you're not important, you're just some guy.
Yeah, but see, that's what I've learned is like I say to the girls, like, if you're having trouble, just lie and say you're the manager, because they won't know the difference. So, like, I don't understand, like, when I was working, like, a retail job, why didn't I just lie all the time and say I was the manager? Because that's what people believe.
Yeah,
like, if you're having trouble at a retail job, just lie and say you're the manager. I'm
fully endorsing this. If you're working at a retail job, not just about the managership, just lie. Just lie a lot to anyone about anything. It's fun. It'll help your day.
It truly will, because, like, as soon as it clicked in my head when I was saving this girl from getting berated by this old woman, I was like, oh my God, I could just lie and say I'm the manager, and these old people will step in line. That's all they want. They just want to feel entitled to talking to a manager like a manager can do anything.
Yeah.
And so, like, all this time, I'm like, I'm the manager, to the point, like, the girls are like, Courtney, what do I do? And I'm like, I'm not really the manager.
Yeah, it's just, there are people sometimes deserve to have people be rude to them. Rude people, that it's not okay to be rude except under one circumstance. If someone's being rude to you, and then it's okay. You can be rude to those people.
Yeah.
This is not going super well.
Oh,
It's probably fine.
And then this one other story, like, on the first week we were working, and we had to take appointments. Like, old people in beauty salons have a different language than what, like, the normal, like, lingo is for, like, salon stuff. So, like, I had to, like, ask my mom, like, what the hell is all this old people lingo that they're using? Cause I didn't understand it at first, because, like, they're saying a set and roll. And, like, I was like, what the fuck is a set and roll? Because they meant, like, they wanted curlers and go under a heater, and just saying, like, they want a curler set. And I was like, Or like this, oh my god, I made myself cry to the point that I was crying on the highway going home because I was so angry at this old man. Okay, like this old man walks in, he has no hair on the top of his head, and I can see like he has no hair on the top of his head. And so, hi sir, do you want to make an appointment? And he's like, yeah, I want dreads. And I was like, on your head? And he's looking at me like I was crazy, like he's like, yeah, on my head. I was like, I didn't want to say you're bald. I didn't want to say like you're bald, sir. And, and so I was like, you want extension? He's like, no, I want dreads. And I was like, okay, sir. And then he goes, I want dreads on the back of my neck. How was I supposed to see you have these fucking like this little patch of hair on the back of your neck? Like where your ears are on the back of your neck. How was I supposed to guess you wanted the back of your neck dreaded? And I was so angry at myself driving at home. I was like, I'm so retarded. I don't know what, I'm too autistic. I don't understand what people are saying. And I was just punching myself like while I was going home. Like, I don't understand people. Why am I so damn dumb? And then like one of my friends explained to me like, how are you supposed to guess that this bald man wanted the back of his head dreaded when you can't see that he had dreads on the back of his neck?
I don't know if I've ever seen that. Is that a thing that happens?
What?
Just getting the back of your head dreaded?
Well, that's where they grow the hair. So yeah, they still have dreads back there.
I guess I've never seen someone that was bald with dreads.
Well, I mean, like, there's people that still, I guess, like, as long as you have hair somewhere, you can still get it done.
Well, I'm saying I know that you can get it done, but I didn't know that anyone did. I just never seen it.
Maybe they were wearing hats.
Maybe they were wearing hats.
Or like a lot of old people use the word kitchen to mean the back of their neck, and then girls are coming up like, what the fuck does a kitchen mean? And they mean like, oh, it's the back of their neck. And you're supposed to shave that up, or like, you know, get it. He's just typing to me. I shouldn't use the R word. I'll try not to.
Thank you, Courtney. Did you end up giving that guy dreads?
No, because I don't know how to do dreads. Someone else was able to get to him, because I just don't know how to do dreads at all. I don't know how to braid or do dreads.
What do you know how to do?
I know how to dye hair and cut hair, but I don't know how to hold scissors anymore.
What do you mean?
Because I've been using clippers. Because instead of using like how people use scissors to do full haircuts, I only use clippers instead of scissors. So like, if you wanted to get like a layered haircut, I wouldn't know how to do it with a pair of scissors. I just don't understand how to hold scissors anymore because I use the clippers as this pair of scissors instead.
Are people cool with that?
It scares people, but like it's a much quicker way of doing a haircut once you explain to the person.
And does it come out looking the same?
Yeah, it comes out looking better because it's quicker because you don't have to keep ruining your wrist while holding the scissors. Because like this teacher keeps giving horror stories about like, oh, if you use a lot of people who only specialize in haircuts, like with scissors, they ruin their wrists because you have to keep doing that repetitive motion all the time.
Jeez.
So like a lot of people who only specialize in haircuts have like a real short career.
Huh, that sucks. I didn't know that.
And so it's just like.
But you don't really even want to do the salon stuff.
What do you mean?
I thought that you said that you didn't like doing the salon stuff and that you don't want to have a job at a hairdresser.
I mean, I do, but I just mean like I wouldn't want to have like I don't know how to word this properly. I do, but I would have to have like a very special clientele that I would have to gain. Because I wouldn't want to work where people could just come into my chair. Like, you know, randos come off the street and come into my chair if they don't know who I am.
Okay. Why don't you want that?
Because I know that would annoy the crap out of me. Cause like you can see my work with your eyes. You know what I do. Like it's just like I hate like when these people come into the salon and be like, oh, I want this and this and this. Well, like obviously this person does not specialize in it, and you're gonna berate them. Like you want this weird specialized thing that they just can't do, and then like once they do it, because you couldn't wait for the person who specializes in this, you berate them, and then, like, is it really worth the tip? Is it really worth your whack tip that you gave me?
Probably not. But wouldn't it be better to let all the strangers come in, and then if they want something that you don't want to do, just tell them that you can't do it?
Well, I mean, that would be helpful if that could happen, but you've never been in a salon where people are just so like, no, I'm getting this done today.
But if it's your salon, then you can tell them off. You can be like, fuck you, this is my store, you goddamn idiot.
I mean, most of the time, most people who are working in a salon don't own the salon. You either rent the chair out.
But you could do that. You could do both.
I
My
would
old
never wanna
my
run
old
a
barber
salon.
owned the store and was good actual barber.
True. I see. That's what I don't get. Like, so many people are like, "Why don't you own a salon? Why don't you own this?" Like, I don't think people understand. Like, first of all, you'd have to get enough people to rent a chair to like make profit, and then like you'd have to upkeep everything, and then you have to get all the health inspections. Then you have to make sure everyone's licensed and not lying that they're licensed, and then you got to get all the product.
Well,
And then
also
do all
the
the
other thing is
advertising.
my barber, and a barber shop is a different sort of thing than like a salon. But
Yeah,
I
it's
think
much different.
I think he was the only person that worked there. I think it was just him, maybe one other person. And that place is great. So is it
Yeah, but see,
possible to have a
barbershops are-
small salon with only like one or two people, like you and one other person?
No, because barbershops specialize in a much different skill than salons. Because like for a barbershop, you don't need to wash hair legally. Because you can't you can't use a clipper with wet hair, so they don't need to wet the hair and wash it legally. They just zoom, 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 and then they get you out.
No, I always get a wash.
You do?
Yeah, every time.
Wait, do they use scissors or clippers?
Both.
Well, that's the first time I ever heard of a barber like washing hair.
Yeah, I get clippers done for the back and the sides, and then scissors on top.
Oh wait, maybe like, are there any black people at the salon?
No, this is a place for white hair.
Okay, no, okay, I've never been to a white barber shop. That is news to me.
Yeah, you can cut my hair in pretty much any condition.
But I know like there's a different.
God damn it! I keep hitting the wrong button. Keyboard moves. Give up. Okay, Jesus Christ. What if, here's a solution. What if everyone that worked at the barber shop was an owner, and that means you wouldn't have to pay health insurance because everybody would be paying self-employment taxes, which includes, it includes that stuff in it.
I think it's different because like I know like a lot of barbershops and salon owners, they don't pay like health insurance and all that other stuff because they consider a chair a booth, and you're renting out the booth in that salon.
No, that's bullshit. That's what they say, but they say that about restaurants too. If you have enough employees, then you have to provide health insurance. But it's just that they don't have enough employees. Yeah, it has. It's like you have to have above a certain amount of employees to.
Because if you rent because it's different for salons because you have workers that work where you work for the owner, right? Are you following me? Okay, well, if you work for the salon, you work for the salon and you get like what do you call it? A check. But like if you rent a booth or a chair, you do not work for the owner, so you don't have to have your same hours as the owner, so you get paid full. You just have to pay that monthly fee for the chair. I don't know if you know that.
So you can get 100% of the money for the haircuts.
Yeah, but you have to pay the rental for the chair.
How much would that be? How much is the rental for the chair?
It depends on what the salon is, like if it's really popular or not.
What's like give me like maybe an average price or a typical price.
I've heard like $200 to $1,000
a month.
Yeah.
And so if you're working there, then you get all of the tips and all of the money for the haircuts, but you have to pay maybe like $500.
You'd be able to make a lot of money.
But is that how? That's true. Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Okay.
But also, I don't know if you rent a booth, you'd be able to get their products. Like, you'd have to buy your own products, or would you have to use the salon products? I don't know about that.
Huh. Yeah, good point. Or maybe they can buy the salon products, but it just doesn't go to you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I as extra don't know how that works because I never buy the salon products. I never let them put gel in my hair. I never let them put any sort of putty in my hair.
Why not? That's like
because I have my own putty and gel.
But seriously, like, the salon stuff works 10 times better than, like, I never thought it would, but, like, I seriously, like,
no, I buy better stuff than they have there. Trust me, I do.
Maybe that's for man stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, all man stuff is, like, kind of pretty much the same. It's not like men don't care about having textures or curls or stuff.
I care about texture and hold amount and how matte it is. I like a matte or mostly matte putty for my hair.
Yeah, but I mean, like, all man salons, like, if you're just using like whatever, like what is it called, pomade or like hair wax, it's all the same. It's just different bottles and containers.
No, I've used a bunch of different stuff and it all works super different.
I mean, it all works the same, but like the formula hasn't changed the game since like the 1920s when.
All of this stuff it's still working on super old, I guess, technology or like recipes. But they work different. Like I have a wax that that is like really thin and has like pretty small amount of hold and has a little bit of shine, like a very little bit. But then I also have like a super stiff putty that has no shine at all, that is like really thick, and they're like way different.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying like they aren't different. I'm just saying like they haven't like advanced from the 1920s when they first made that recipe and everyone used that recipe.
Yeah.
I just mean like women's hair products, like some of the stuff is like way advanced because like my mom like was a cosmetologist. She got her cosmetology license in like the 70s, and that's like when like she was a black cosmetologist. And, like, when she was going to the cosmetology school to get her license, like, there was a time where she went to a white cosmetology school, and, like, no white person knew how to do relaxers. Like, it was still, segregated.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, even at that time, like, in the 70s, she didn't know how to do, she knew how to do white hair, but, like, white people didn't understand, like, stuff about relaxers. Like, relaxers were, like, becoming a new thing that even white people could use, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like, even relaxers are still, like, growing and changing every year.
I don't even know what a relaxer is.
It makes your hair straight.
Okay. I knew that existed, I just didn't know what it was called.
But, like, there's different straighteners coming out every year, and it's always something crazy and new. Like you know, you put formaldehyde on your hair, and then you gotta put the hot comb on for 200, like 400 degrees, and you also have to have a ventilation system so you won't die from inhaling formaldehyde. That's a real hair treatment, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's called like the Brazilian straight press. Don't get that guy. You'll fucking die if you get a Brazilian straight press and you pay for it cheaply.
So you're touching on something we've been talking about hair for a bit, but I think a big part of this conversation is that a lot of stuff about hair is very politicized, and no type of hair is politicized less than my hair.
White people hair.
Yeah. All women's hair and black men's hair is very politicized. And also,
I mean, like it definitely is politicized, but also it's that like white people don't understand like what goes into black hair.
Yeah.
So like a lot of times like
I would
don't,
count that as part of what makes it political. Is that it's
Yeah, but at the
it is a thing that black people deal with that white people don't even know about.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, I mean, I know how to do white people hair because I have done white people hair, but at the same time, white people hair is still like a mystery to me. Like once you get past a certain straightness on your hair, it's like I don't know what to do with this. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like you have to have some type of curl in your hair for me to even understand. Like, oh, I can understand how to cut this. But like if you got straight hair and like I'm cutting it and your hair's slipping out of my fingers, like I don't know what to do. Like it doesn't make any type of sense to me. So I mean, like white people hair just doesn't make sense to me unless you want me to color it.
Right. But you
like,
know, it doesn't. Unless you specifically want it to make sense to you, there's nothing. You can just ignore it.
Yeah, but I don't understand like how white people get curls in their hair other than using hairspray.
Curlers, like.
Yeah, I understand that, but as soon as the curl cools down, it's gonna fall apart if you don't use hairspray. So it's just are white people just using hairspray like crazy?
Yeah. Yep. I mean, not me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't curl my hair. It's not long enough to curl if I wanted to. I guess I could maybe get one or two in there if I wanted. But I don't think it would look great. But yeah, lots of hairspray.
And white people need to wash your hair every day. Like,
no, that's not true. Don't tell people
are you
that.
sure that
Yeah.
they don't need to wash their hair every day?
Yeah. Yeah, don't do that.
So white people's hair doesn't get greasy.
Well, white people's hair does get greasy, but only some people's hair. My hair gets pretty greasy, but the thing is that the more often that you wash it, the quicker it gets greasy. And so if you get, yes, I'm sure. So if you get in the habit of only washing a couple times a week or 3 times a week or 4 times a week, you know, less than every day, then the less greasy it will get when it's not being washed.
Or do you think like it could be like the concentration of your shampoo?
What do you mean? Like using too much or too little?
Yeah, because I just learned in class.
People
like,
use too much shampoo is the other thing.
Like, I mean, like, some people, like, the shampoo is supposed to be diluted sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. Well, the other thing is you don't necessarily have to dilute it because you can just use less. Because it works the same way, using less or just adding water.
So, like, I think a lot of people are, like, using way too much shampoo and not enough conditioner.
Yeah. I don't use conditioner very often. When I use conditioner, my hair gets too soft and becomes unmanageable.
No, see, that's a problem I don't understand. Like, how could it be too soft?
It just is. I mean, it's like my hair is very soft by default. Whether I wash it or not, it's very soft. And so it won't hold properly if it's too soft. But yeah, don't wash your hair every day. It's bad for your hair. I would aim, if you're someone that washes your hair every day, I would recommend trying to do it every other day, like 3 times a week. Even if you have greasy hair like me, it will eventually like kind of fix itself. Because
like
the only
that
reason
hair
hair gets greasy because it is used to receiving moisture from the shampoo, and then when it doesn't, it overcompensates. It's like they forgot to put the moisture in. We got to make a bunch of it. Yeah. So if you're a dude or you have short, if you wear your hair short, try, like, if you want to switch to not washing so much, try getting like a haircut and then starting, because the shorter your hair is, the less greasy it gets. Obviously, there's less hair to get greasy. So if you get a fresh cut, maybe don't wash for a couple days, and then wash again, and then give it a couple days, and then wash again, and then see if that sort of changes
Or
how
like,
your hair normally is.
I also think like men with long hair, they just don't know how to take care of their hair or put layers in their hair. Like you see like these nerds like wearing their long hair, and they have great hair. It's just they never put layers in it. How come they just don't put layers in it?
You're talking about white people with long hair with no layers?
Yeah, like white men that keep that long hair.
Because they don't.
They
No
got
one told
great
them.
hair.
No one told them that they need to do something to it. So they just grew it out. They just
So like, well, what would be the nice way to tell them to get layers?
You should put some layers in your hair.
Mm.
You should try having some layers in there. Oh, it's Joey.
What you guys say?
Good evening, Keith. It's me, Joey. Were you awake? Oh yeah, I took down a dragonite in the wild the other day. It was a cakewalk. Well, I guess it can't be helped, us being so tough. All right, later. Yeah, I think people worry a lot about like hurting strangers' feelings, which is nice to do.
Okay, but see, I have an idea.
Yeah.
Listen to this concept. Okay,
Okay.
So what if I just flirt with them and tell them that they will look better with a haircut? Would that make them feel better?
I don't think you need to flirt with them. I think you can just, because then they'll just be.
Men respond better though if you flirt with them and tell them, oh, you'd be so much prettier. Because you know what? I think that's what negging is. It's like maybe that's what men want. Is like they want to be negged.
Don't neg people. How many times do we have to go over this? Don't neg people.
No, I think men like it though.
No, no one likes it. It's not supposed to be like people don't neg like the negging thing, the pickup artist shit. That didn't start because it's like, oh, women like this. It's explicitly manipulative. You're trying to manipulate someone when you do that.
Yeah, I'm trying to manipulate them to get some layers and some highlights.
But you can just tell them, hey, your hair would look really good with some layers or highlights.
Yeah, but I feel like men respond better if we pretend like we like them.
That's true, but don't enforce that. Don't encourage that. That's not good behavior.
You're right. Also, I think I figured out why I like that red pill stuff so much. Cause like.
Hold on, clarify. You don't actually like it.
Oh, I don't like it, but
okay.
Listen, just listen to this.
Hold on, I need to give some backstory. Courtney messaged me and Kyle the other day and said, "Look at this shit I found," and then linked r/red pill, which is a men's rights activist / pickup artist. It's a misogyny subreddit. It's just a bunch of misogynists talking about how the world is actually run by women, and if you take the red matrix pill, you'll see how the world actually is, which is run by and for women. They're all crazy people, and I had to tell Courtney, I'm sorry, but we've all known about this for years, except for apparently Kyle.
Yeah, he like has some weird amnesia where every time we bring it up, he's like, "What?"
Well, he didn't get one of the texts that I sent. I think the problem.
Okay.
Yeah, one of them didn't send.
But like, see, that's what I think is so empowering. Is like these men think we women are so powerful, and that's what I love about it, is that these men think that we can take over. So if we just feed into that, we'll finally be able to take over.
No, that's not true, because they're not just saying the world is run by women. Doesn't that suck? Oh well. They're like,
yeah, but see, that's what I love, because the world is ruled by women, and we just gotta oppress these men, and wouldn't that be so much better? And they just suffer.
But that's not what I'm saying that's not what they're doing. They're not just saying, doesn't it suck? They're like explicitly out to make things worse for women. And then do it. It's not like they just want to do it. They go and they do it.
True. But see, I like to read it to figure out what their tactics are, so I can do the opposite of that.
What are their tactics that you've learned?
You know,
I know what I think they are.
Like, like the negging, or like how they say, like, oh my, like this one thread I was reading, like, I just have to say that I like this type of girl, and then this girl will do this. Like, this guy thought he was using a Jedi mind trick of
Yeah, guys
like
do that a lot.
If I tell women that I like a woman who cooks, she'll do it. And I was like,
Yeah, they just are terrible people. They really think they at the same time think that
they think what they have to say is important.
Well, that's a big part of it. Yeah, that's like the white culture part of it. I guess it's also the male culture part of it. It's both. That's why they're so horrible, is because they think that they're important for like 6 different reasons when they're not.
Yeah, but I just like the fact that they fear women and also want women. I don't know. I just find that so refreshing. They should fear women.
But it's very unhealthy. I guess if you want to get technical, there's a way to do that that's healthy. I guess. But that way is not.
I just like the thought that men fear women.
But if it's not fear, it's like, but it manifests as like disdain. It's not just like they're not like their idea isn't, hey, let's go cower in front of women because they're so powerful. Their idea is like, let's go make women feel miserable because we hate them.
Oh man, I was hoping they would fear us and then we could put them.
No, they don't actually. The fear part of it, the thing that you're seeing as fear, is just that they hate you. And are willing to.
You can't hate what you. Wait, what is it? You can't hate what you don't love. What is it saying?
I don't know, but it's wrong. Whatever it is, it's wrong.
But yeah, that was my idea. Like, we could just, what do you call it? Oppress the men. Make them free. How come men don't wear shapewear?
You mean like a corset?
Yeah. Or women have butt pads. Men can wear, like muscle pads.
Because they don't need to.
Sure about that?
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, it's the answer is that the reason that they don't need to is go, no, oh no, no.
Oh, okay, he's not gonna die.
Oh, phew. Oh wow, that could have been bad. All right, keep an eye out for that. So. No one needs to wear shapewear, but there is the culture that has been created pressures people into wearing things and acting in ways that they don't want to or that they don't need to, and one of those ways is by selling shapewear to women that doesn't exist for men because that is who makes the rules about society is pretty much men.
Yeah, but I see why don't there's men that don't have that perfect Dorito body that Captain America.
Yeah.
So more men could just wear a corset and get that perfect Dorito body.
Okay, but think of a Bill Murray movie.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Murray is an ugly guy that is, rude and sarcastic shit, and he is a male lead in romantic comedies up until being an old man, and these movies are selling him as a romantic lead with young actresses that are.
I think we gotta start booing that. If I see
that's what I'm talking about. But that's
woman, I hiss at them.
This is the picture that society sells to men, which is that you are good enough to be with any woman just by being you.
Yeah, and that's why I think we gotta start, kicking these men down a notch and telling them they need to start wearing a corset.
But this is the thing that you do all the time. Instead of forcing men to also wear corsets, why don't you do it from the other angle?
But I like the way I look when I wear like shapewear. And
then you
corsets.
can wear it if you want. You don't have no one's saying don't wear them and don't make them, but it's the forcing someone to feel like they need to wear it that's the problem. And so instead of just making a world where no one feels like they need to, but they can if they want, then in the same way, a man that wants to also just would.
Okay, but what if there are some men that want to look, more manly, pretty, handsome? What if more men just want to look more fake handsome? Like
well, they
maybe
can do whatever
men
they
don't
want.
know about shapewear.
Yeah. Here you go. Thank you. Sorry, say that again?
I'm just saying, what if men want to be more handsomer? And, what if they don't know that, they could buy, stuff like butt padding and, fake chest plates and stuff?
I think there's two answers. I think that there are men that do want to wear that and then do. I don't think it's very common, but it does happen. And then the other thing is that because it's the repercussions of a culture that enforces misogyny is that it also enforces an ideal version of masculinity and imposes that on men.
There's man lingerie, and it's not like
I know that.
It's not like a thong, but they actually have functional lingerie for men that men don't use, but they should use.
But that's what I'm saying. It's because it's. I mean, if men weren't buying it, they wouldn't sell it. But you're right that a lot of people don't like the amount of men that wear lingerie is a lot lower than the amount of women that do, and it's the same thing. It's that there's a certain structure. There's a certain when you shoot in a video game, you shoot a gun, or in real life, I guess you shoot a gun and there's recoil.
I've shot a gun before.
Okay, when you shoot a gun. Oh yeah, you're from Georgia. When you shoot a gun and the bullet goes, but then the gun bounces back at you.
Yeah, if you're got little weak arms.
No, but you still have to use your arms to keep it from bouncing back.
Yeah, I know. I'm just teasing.
So it's the same thing. The gun is a male enforced misogynist society, and the recoil is toxic masculinity. It's the side effect of the thing that they're imposing on women is bad, and it's deadly. But then the repercussion is a lot less bad. It's not recoil is not deadly, but it's not good. It would be better if it wasn't there.
What's the ringing in my ears?
I don't. What? Sorry. What are you saying?
When you shoot a gun, even if you have those mufflers on the ears,
yeah.
What do you consider that in a metaphor?
I'm gonna say that's also toxic masculinity.
Okay. I have a weird question. I think this will be my most controversial question.
Okay. Ever or just today?
Ever.
Okay. Wow. All right. Then I'm reserving the right to not answer it.
Okay. Do you think women are cursed with straightness? The women who are straight, they're cursed with it. But, cause I'm the more I've been talking to the other people in my class, they consider themselves straight, but they date women. So, are they onto something, where they still say that they're straight, but they date women? But, because, maybe, if more women dated more women, things would be better. Am I, saying it right?
This is a very complicated issue. I don't think it's your most controversial question, but it's a very complicated issue. And...
Because I feel like they are on the right track, that,
You're saying,
maybe...
should more women date women?
Yeah.
Yeah, if women want to date women, then they should do that. Yeah.
But at the same time, they don't call themselves bi, when obviously they are bi. But maybe like they only consider themselves bi if they have like, you know, sexual relations with a woman. So they're just only dating a person platonically.
You know, I don't know anyone that calls himself straight and dates someone of the same gender as them. I don't know anybody.
Or maybe it's like an age thing, because a lot of them are in their 30s to 40s, so maybe that is just a generation thing.
I don't know. I guess to answer your question fully, I think I would need to know. I think I would need to know more about it, because I don't know anyone that does that. Everyone that I know that is not in a hetero relationship does not call themselves straight. I do know people that I do know bi people that call themselves straight when they're in hetero relationships, but that's kind of the opposite of what you're saying. But yeah, you know,
Well, I'm starting to think maybe being straight is like a curse. Like straightness is obviously like you need to have the penis in the vagina to make a babe, but like maybe that's all we need like the penis for is to make the baby, and like maybe like it'd be better if just all women date each other and we leave men to rot.
I think that the idea of like leaving an entire group of people to rot isn't a great idea.
Oh, we still gotta keep some alive for this sperm, but
right. But you're talking again about like imprisoning. You're talking again about like imprisoning and genocide and like torture.
No, we
and
just have
rape.
like a big sperm bank, and they could just you know, deposit their sperm, and
then what?
they can go on living.
What if none of them want to?
Just deposit their sperm?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, I don't know. They can, I guess, have a baby the old-fashioned way.
Can they? It sounds like they can't in this version of the world.
Yeah,
Ice Cream Jones is also saying you're also associating gender with genitalia, which also isn't true. That is true, Ice Cream Jones, but Courtney is technically referring back to a different thing that she's talked about before, which also did this same thing. So you're right. I should have said something earlier, but I'm assuming a lot based on previous conversations that Courtney and I have had. But Courtney, this whole part of this is nuts. You can't. I don't see how you got from is straightness a curse to should we just
No, I'm just saying.
It sounds like outlaw hetero relationships.
No. I'm just saying maybe women would be happier with other women because all these other girls in my class that are dating other women seem so much happier than dating a man.
But they're already doing it. So if they want to do it, they can just do it.
Yeah, so I'm thinking like maybe other girls don't know about this.
I think that most do. I think that most people have heard of dating other women. Most women have heard of dating other women.
But like, am I crazy? Because I feel like all the time whenever I hear
I don't know what I don't know what your question is I guess the thing. I guess if women are dating other women, you're really just asking why aren't they calling themselves bisexual, which is I don't care what they call themselves or not, and that it's not important.
No, I'm more on the point like maybe if like you date a woman, it'd be better.
Are you asking if you should date a woman?
No, I'm just saying like.
Well, have you heard of this? Have you heard of dating women? It's better. Maybe you should do that.
I think that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, just do it. If you want to do it, then just do it.
Yeah, but I'm not attracted to women.
Well, then there you go. There's your answer.
Oh no, I'm cursed.
Yeah, there you go.
See, that's why I think I'm cursed with straightness.
Well, I guess if your point is that you personally are not attracted to women, but you wish that you were so that you didn't have to be attracted to men, then that's a fine thing to think. Then you're allowed to feel that way.
Maybe that's what I was thinking the whole time. It's just that, like, when you read, like, have you ever read R Reddit? No, not R Reddit. Reddit relationships. It's always...
I have spent about a total 15 minutes on Reddit ever.
Oh, I don't know if I have an account on Reddit, but like, if you just read Reddit and like our relationships, because it's like the most horrible things of like, it's either a woman like, asking something really horrible of her friends, like how come she can't have a wedding at our plantation? How come her friends don't want to go to her plantation wedding? Or it's always about like, oh, my husband doesn't wipe his butt because he thinks wiping his butt is gay. And, like,
I saw that one. That's got to be a joke, right? That can't be real.
No, I definitely think that's true.
People got to wipe their butt, man. It's gross.
I feel like maybe most people don't know how to wipe their butt. Because did you know there's some people that stand up to wipe?
Yeah, a lot of people do that.
I never knew that until one of my friends told me that she stands up to wipe.
A lot of people stand up and then crouch. But also a lot of people do it right on there. So I don't think there's an improper form, but I do think that a lot of people still don't do a very good job.
See, I think there definitely is an improper form, because why would we have a toilet that already spreads us open? So why would you stand up to close your butt cheeks together?
But you can just reopen them with your hands.
But oh God, but see, that's what I think is so gross, because like you're doing squats up and down on the toilet, getting your pee and poop particles everywhere, when it just should be in the toilet hole. So that's why I think you should sit down to do all your business instead of stand up and like spread your hands, getting your poop particle hands all over the place.
But then you wash them. You wash your hands after. You can, all right, I'm saying this to the chat. You can wipe your butt however you want. I don't care. I don't think there's a wrong form, but just make sure you're doing a good job.
Yeah, but I like, men don't wash their hands after they pee, though.
I do. But also, I don't have to spread my ass to pee, so.
But still, it's gross that you guys have to touch your, like, pee straw to, like, angle it around.
What?
Your pee straw, the penis, it's pee straw.
No, but what was the rest of what you said?
I just think it's gross that you guys have to touch it to pee.
I guess you don't technically have to.
But then you're gonna get it on your shoes.
No. It just kind of, you're at a urinal, right? It's right in front of you.
But no, I mean like at a home toilet. I've never seen a guy pee in a home toilet, so I don't...
Never?
Well, no. Boris won't let me watch him.
Why not?
He thinks that's weird.
It's only a little weird. It's only weird if he thinks it's weird. If everyone doesn't think it's weird, then it's not weird. The thing that makes something weird is someone thinking it's weird. And nothing is weird by itself.
But so, like, if you're on a toilet, would you stand in front of the home toilet, or do you sit down and do it?
Usually stand. Sometimes if I'm, like, on my phone and I'm going to be a minute, I'll sit down.
So if you're sitting down, would the balls and dick touch the water? Do you have to wipe the balls and dick, or, like, do you shimmy?
Do I shimmy? What do you mean, do I shimmy? Do I, like, shake myself around?
Yeah, if you're sitting down to do it.
No, you just sit. It just works. I'll say toilets are well designed and they do what you need them to do. There's not a problem.
You wouldn't have to use a paper towel to like dab at it, would you?
Would I use a paper towel to dab at it? No. It just kind of stops.
So like pee doesn't come out like.
No, you'll
like,
do it. You will shake. Yeah, you'll shake it around. Yeah.
And like you don't go in for that extra touch to make sure it's dry.
On top, no, it's dry.
Okay.
The most that'll come out is like one other drop. That's it. There's not a lot of pee that gets stored inside of a dick. The pee, as everyone knows, is stored in the balls.
I was about to say, are you gonna finish that sentence? They should have more bidets in toilets, like in the Asian toilets.
Oh man, it encored my. Oh, it didn't encore my encore. This isn't gonna work.
Run. What happened to Blaze?
I switched them out.
Okay. I thought he died.
Nope. Oh god, can't remember if that's physical or... I can never remember with Seed Flare. I'm pretty sure it's a special attack. Summary. Check moves. No. Special, yeah. I should remember that, because it's, you know, Seed Flare. It's not like Leaf Blade. Oh, shit. Whatever, that's fine. I was gonna use, Mirror Coat? Mirror Coat? What the fuck is it called? Yeah, Mirror Coat.
But do you think, like, have you ever used a bidet? I never used a bidet.
I've used a bidet, not in a long time, though.
What's it like? You have the towel off, or do you use the paper towel?
Oh god, I can't remember. I guess I just used toilet paper. It goes right up in there. There's not like a lot of
But you don't think some people have like different target buttholes? Like, I mean, like...
You're saying are people's buttholes in different spots over the bidet?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you just move it in the right spot. It's not a ton of water. It's kind of like a pretty thin jet. But even then, it's like, you know, butts get wet. Paper towel does toilet paper does an okay job, right? You were talking earlier about how chicken and rice gives you explosive diarrhea. You don't use like a paper towel for that, do you? You use toilet paper.
Yeah. You can't use tissue paper because paper towels because that would clog the toilet.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, toilet paper handles a lot of moisture, and so it works just fine for the bidet.
I didn't know if like you get it so wet, like the paper, like the tissue paper would like your finger go right through toilet paper.
Sorry, was there a question there?
No, but you know, like sometimes when like you don't wrap enough toilet paper and your finger goes right through the toilet paper.
Yeah. You just wanted to know if I knew about that? Yeah, I knew about that. Where's Kyle? Oh, sorry, Courtney, I accidentally left the call.
I noticed.
I'm adding Kyle to the call. I don't know where he is or what's going on. So let's see.
Wait, hello?
I don't think it's working. Kyle doesn't... I don't know if he even has Discord on his phone, so I expected him to just... Oh. He's calling me back. Hello.
Keith.
What's up? What's going on, Kyle?
What are you doing?
Hi, Colin. You're on the air. Hello. You're on the air.
What?
Am I on the air?
Yeah, Courtney's on the air too.
Are you just starting?
No, I started a while ago.
Oh,
We had
okay.
like a lot of conversations about food and living off the land.
Yeah, I didn't. Here's what happened: is that I ran out of answers for Courtney. So.
Oh, like how stuff works.
Yeah, I don't have any more information about anything.
You're just like, oh, I got like halfway through explaining how they make hard candy, and then I was like, no, not Mark Summers.
No, I was
YouTube,
explaining
we have a lot
about
of
how
hard
to use a
candy
bidet.
Oh my god.
So what's
Wait,
going on?
did
What
you
kind of
have-
answers do you have for Courtney?
I was just about to go to sleep. I was in the middle of watching Black Panther, but then I started falling asleep, so I was
Oh,
going
it's
to
on
sleep.
Netflix, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm catching up on like the 5 Marvel movies that I hadn't seen.
Oh wow,
Are all the new Marvel movies
only
on
5,
Netflix?
huh?
Yeah.
I've got like 8, I think, or 9.
So I watched, like I've been watching one a night. So I started with, fuck, I don't even remember anymore.
Ant-Man,
No, I
Ant-Man.
already,
Iron Man 3,
I saw Ant-Man in theaters.
same actually.
Me too.
That's the only one that I've seen since Avengers.
I seriously can't remember.
Avengers 1.
Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
How's that? How's the
that
first
good?
one?
The first one was okay.
People
The
love
thing-
it.
Pete, the thing about it was, I think I saw the first one after everyone had hyped it up, so I was kind of like, yeah, it was good, but it didn't blow me away. And then I think I hadn't heard that many good things about the sequel, so I was kind of like pleasantly surprised by it a little bit.
Okay.
And then I saw Thor Ragnarok, which was another one where I felt like it had been played up so much that it didn't really live up to my expectations.
How has Black Panther been treating you?
I bet it's the greatest movie ever.
Like, kind of the same?
Just hyped up
But it's
enough
like-
where it's...
But it's like better, right?
I mean, I get the sort of like, I appreciate like the cultural significance of it. If it's like a big movie studio putting a pretty big budget behind a movie
Say the
that
right
was
answer. You're
written
under
and
attack.
written and directed by Black people and starring Black people, and that's really
I'm holding
great.
the gun
But
to
I
you,
mean,
Kyle. You better say the right thing.
it's whatever. It's a Marvel movie, so it's all right.
Yeah, every once in a while I feel so I played through all of the Spider-Man game in the last week.
Yeah. That's how about that game, huh?
Have you played
Did
any
you
of
hear
it?
about how-
Yeah, I've been playing it.
did you
Well,
hear
it
about how
sure
that
is
guy
fun.
had the wedding proposal in it, and then like he didn't get, and then like the girlfriend dumped him and then dated his brother, and so he asked people to patch out the wedding proposal.
Yeah, that guy sounds like a shithead. That guy sounds like an idiot shithead.
You think he sounds like a shithead? I think the girl who's like dating the brother is a shithead. Like how
She can do
you
whatever
just
she
go-
wants. He's the one that like had a public proposal in a video game and then
Okay,
made
yeah,
a
that
video
is
all
true,
about
that
their
is-
breakup.
That is true. Public proposals, if anyone does that, that's lame and gross.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Public proposals, Barf City. Like, private proposals, totally cool.
And by the
I
way, if
just-
you've got a shitty brother, there is no better way than to cut him out of your life than to date his girlfriend. That is an excellent way to not have to deal with your asshole brother.
I don't know.
I only saw a tweet about this right before you called, so I really don't know anything about it.
I read half an article about it. All that I
just-
know is that he asked Insomniac to put in a marriage proposal, and they did. And then he made a YouTube video that was
Where?
deleted. It was on a movie theater marquee. And it said, like,
In the
will you
game.
marry me? Whatever her name was. I can't remember. I think it began with an M.
See, I don't know. It's just something like I can understand the girl. Like, if I like one version of this man, I want to get the other version of the man too.
You're
So,
saying it's sort of like buying Pokemon HeartGold and Pokemon Soul Silver.
Yeah.
You want to get all
Well,
the available personality
but
traits.
It
between the
really
two.
is it really is the danger though, right? Because siblings are so similar that sometimes it's like, oh shit, you're actually
the
you're
same
just as good,
shittiness.
but you're a little bit better actually. Shit.
Oh, I was gonna say like, oh, you're the same type of shit that I didn't like in the other brother.
It's both. It's probably both of them.
No, so what's with this?
So he made a video. I don't know a ton about it either, but he made a video online explaining the breakup. They didn't contact the girl at all, so none of her side of the story is in there. But basically, he was like, please take it out of the game. All I know is that he made a video that is no longer on YouTube about the breakup.
So he proposed to her and she said no. So
they broke up even before the proposal. So the
Oh.
proposal was just out there, and he had to be like, we already broke up, actually.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I thought about that. I was like, that's such a delayed proposal asking to have it put in a video game.
I think it was like
Yeah, you never
really
know when a
recent.
video
I
game
think
is
it was
gonna
like
come out.
super recent. I think it was like last month or something is when he asked for something. Which is like a stupid thing to do because obviously he doesn't know anything about how video games are made. But because it was such a small thing, they just like threw it in text on a sign somewhere, basically.
Sure.
Anyway, that game has really obnoxious politics, but the actual game is a blast to play.
Did you see that Spider-Man where it's Black Spider-Man, the good Spider-Man, and like it's a cartoon?
Are you talking about Miles Morales?
No, like the cartoon that's coming out movie, the cartoon version of where it looks like a comic book.
Yeah, I think that Spider-Man's name is Miles Morales. He's also in the game.
Oh.
He's not Spider-Man in the game. He's like a side character.
I heard I keep seeing memes about the game, like where Spider-Man's wearing Timbs and like he's in New York. What's that all about? Is he like wearing Timbs?
Are you asking me if in the video game he was wearing Timbs? I did not notice any Timbs.
Because why are there so many memes about Spider-Man wearing sneakers and Timbs? And
I bet that
is
is.
New York?
I bet that's the. What am I doing? Oh.
We can't see your screen, Geeky Dubs.
Oh, I'm sorry. Stream. I bet that's from the movie. I bet the actor that plays Spider-Man in the movie was wearing the shoes.
Yeah, I really only bought Spider-Man to check out the whole puddle controversy, but then it turned out the game was pretty fun, so I stuck around.
Wait, what controversy?
You don't know about the puddle thing?
No, I don't know anything about the puddle thing.
Oh, what?
Is it like the
Sean
puddles looked really
likes-
good in an E3 demo, but then in the actual game the puddles didn't look so good?
Gross, like you can see the panties in the puddles.
Did I guess it?
Basically, yes.
How good am
Wait,
I?
what?
How perfect is it that I do a video game podcast that I was able to fucking guess this? What's that? Sorry, Courtney, what did you say?
Wait, what did you say?
I said that the puddles looked really good in an E3 demo, but then in the actual game didn't look as good.
Isn't that common?
No, listen, I haven't seen the actual puddles, but it's like the most hilarious non-controversy ever that, yeah, there was supposedly like a pre-release trailer that showed a room with some puddles and there were reflections in the puddles, and then later the puddles were smaller. And
Yeah,
so
that's
people
what
are
Seti's
accusing
saying, that it's not even that the puddles looked worse, just that they were smaller.
smaller, yeah, they're accusing them of downgrading the puddles.
Oh my god.
Isn't that common? Like, wouldn't that happen at like Watch Dogs 2, where Watch Dogs 2, the E3 thing looked super good, and then people found out when it got on the PC that they were putting a weird filter on it to make it look bad. On, like,
You
Xbox.
might be thinking of Watch Dogs 1, but honestly, knowing gamers, it was probably both. So, it's probably both.
Why do gamers like abuse? I feel like you like that the companies abuse you.
No, they don't. There's no abuse. They like to pretend that they're being abused.
Yeah, it's very weird.
See, I'm telling you, men like to be abused, and y'all don't believe me.
No, they like to pretend that they're being abused. This is what
they
I'm trying.
they like to cry about the idea that they're being abused.
Right. They are obsessed with the idea that they're victims when they're actually not victims. Because if they're not victims, then they're like, they don't get to be underdog heroes. And as everyone knows, every man ever born is an underdog hero.
Wait, I thought that was just me.
Yeah, it is just you. It's every every man ever born is the only underdog hero.
Okay.
Oh man. Oh my God, that's brilliant. Then, like, okay, I was wondering like about the difference between marketing to women and marketing to men. So if we just market to men to say that they're the underdog that can make it to the top, men will go crazy for that item.
But they already do that.
I know, but if you like feed into that more, they would like it.
It's
more.
already as fed into
Yeah,
as
Courtney,
it could be.
that's all marketing. Like,
All marketing is like that.
all marketing is made to convince you that you'll be a better, more successful person if you buy their product.
There is a fucking, oh god, what was it? It was oh god, who's the guy? He's, you know, Alan Watts. There's a guy, Alan. Do you guys know Alan Watts?
No,
No.
I never heard it.
He's the thing that he does is complicated and would probably be not as well received in 2018, but he basically he's a guy that went around and explaining what Eastern religions were to Western audiences. Is kind of what his job was.
Was it condescending like white people do on it?
Only
No chance.
Only condescending in that it was from like the 60s and 70s.
Wow.
Like
That's
it scales. It's like if you're grading on a curve, it scores pretty well. But he
So
had
he
a
was
bit.
woke. He was woke for his time.
Yeah, he was woke for his time for sure. And there's like there's this commercial. There's like a Volvo commercial that is using a clip of him talking about like the ennui of capitalism in the thing and like using that to sell cars. Like this is what you like. Listen, everyone knows that capitalism is makes us all miserable, and it's this horrible, unending rat race. But you know what'll fix it? A Volvo.
That's what's the name of? Oh wait, didn't Ball also have that problem again when they did it with that Dr. Seuss movie?
The Lorax, maybe?
Yeah, Lorax.
Yeah, I haven't
Volvo
seen
also
that,
had
but
the same problem.
Yes!
I love that movie.
Oh
It's
my
so terrible.
god. What a nightmare.
Ice Cream Jones says Watts is the guy who that game Everything features, right? I do not know. I don't know.
Well, yeah, it has everything. It's in the title.
I don't
No,
know what
you
I don't know what everything is.
You just made me think of this. I don't know how many of these there are, but there are at least 2 of these signs in my town that I keep seeing. Because, you know, it's like election season, so there's like political signs everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And these kind of look like that, but they're just all black with white text. And it just says, "Have you had enough?" And every time I see the sign, I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Enough of
Like,
cake.
yeah, I have. Tell me more.
Tell me more
But
about
that's
this.
it. That's just the sign just asks me if I've had enough. And every time I'm like, yes. Please tell me. You must have some ideas.
Ice Cream Jones says Everything is a weird artsy game by the guy who made Mountain, where you play as everything, rocks, trees, molecules, etc. And sometimes you find Watts audio tapes. Watts is a really weird guy because I think
find
that
any of his stuff on YouTube?
yeah, you can find his that's where you would find it. That's like the place to go. Or he has books, but so Watts is the kind of guy that like does a really good job of like explaining stuff like Zen Buddhism, which is notoriously difficult to explain by nature, but does it in a really like westernized way. Not that he's telling people things that aren't true so much as
You trying to give the McDonald's version summary of everything?
no, it's not even that. It's super hard to explain, again, because Buddhism's almost impossible to explain.
But he's trying to water it down to so.
It's
the
not
moms
so
can
much as
understand.
water it down, but just the idea of what Buddhism is given to a Western audience is by it is like it's almost like he's giving the actual thing, but the water exists in the mind of the listener. So
it's like how people watch Ava and they get like existentialism and like the hedgehog's dilemma, but they get it through anime.
Maybe. So imagine if you handed someone a bowl of popcorn, but their hands were made of water. So every time they went to take a bite of the popcorn, when they put it in their mouth, it was soggy. And so technically,
No.
Alan Watts didn't do anything to the popcorn, but it's the people he's giving it to that are ruining it.
No. It's like, you ever seen that clip of like the raccoon trying to wash the cotton candy?
Yes, I
And,
have.
like, the cotton.
Yeah.
Is it like that?
It's sort of like that, but the Watts is the cotton candy, and the raccoons are the people listening. If you want to watch someone talk about Buddhism, probably the way to go is Bill Porter. That's who I would recommend. But like any sort of religion-y type thing, Buddhism is a victim of being.
Consumerism.
No, not as much consumerism, because it's just the structure. Like it.
I feel like I see a lot of white girls with those Buddhist statues in their
Listen,
rooms.
I'm listening to this conversation. I'm really appreciating Courtney's engagement and her enthusiasm. But she's not batting 1,000 on what she's looking at when she's listening.
I'm just swinging really. I'm like a child swinging real.
You're swinging for the fences.
It's it suffers from, like, it's this thing. It's like this thing about, oh god, this is stupid. I shouldn't even. It's like impossible to talk about, and I don't have even close to a good enough grasp on this to be.
Are you a Buddhist?
No. It is very interesting.
Yeah, Keith is a Buddhist.
No, it's not.
I don't know.
It's. I will call it. What I'll say is that it is very compelling. I'm not paying attention to the game real quick. I'm gonna
Like
switch
in the story or the teachings?
It's complicated. There's not a ton of story. It's super weird, and everything that I'd say about it has a billion qualifications. But suffices to say that the way that the teachings of Buddhism are directly contradictory to the practice of being organized in any way at all, and so the way that it suffers is like whenever a bunch of people get together and make rules for this thing that's supposed to like not really have any rules, like it doesn't really work. And so then like Western audiences are even more likely to do that than like where it was originally invented, which was China.
Well, actually, I did read something about that, like how different cultures interpret forms of work, like how Westerners and Europeans they like the concept that work like the three-part structure of a story, but where like other cultures that have different like religions, like how Buddhist people like Asians and
Courtney, I have to
like
stop
that.
you real quick. I have not heard anything that you just said because I was reading the chat.
Oh, should I like re-say it?
Yeah,
again?
you can re-say it.
I was like,
Virginia Payne says not India, China, India. Zen Buddhism specifically is Chinese. Sorry, Courtney, go ahead.
I think it was an art class where it said like how different cultures react and like understand concepts, and it's like how European and Western cultures like they're more common to have like a 3-act structure or like a plot that has like an A to Z or like a more structured kind of concept to it because of their religion, and like Buddhist religions and other type of religions and like Eastern stuff has like more of a like kind of wavy, kind of not really structured, but structured kind of way of understanding things.
Courtney, I'm gonna say this. Yeah, that sounds totally right to me.
What's the point of attack on the story of Jesus?
What's that?
A what?
What's the point of attack on the story of Jesus?
Attack
In
on
our
Jesus?
traditional 3-act structure.
Jesus was born, he died for our sins, and he rose back up again. Duh, he's the underdog of dying and coming back. He's literally a comeback story.
I need to go to sleep.
Virginia Payne said to me saying that Zen Buddhism is Chinese, not Indian, I have a degree in East Asian history, to which I will say the guy who was the first patriarch of Zen Buddhism. His name was Bodhidharma. He came from India into China. And as I was told that there's no history of Zen Buddhism being practiced in India ever. That's what I have been told. But I do know that.
Tell this person who has,
I was just saying what I have been told. This is now it's Virginia's turn to tell me if that's right or wrong. But I was told that this one guy, Bodhidharma, went into China, and then 5 patriarchs later, that's when Zen Buddhism was like, okay, this is now a thing. But yeah, that guy did come from India into China.
Wait, did you just say he came from Indiana Jones, or was I like?
He walked into India. Sorry, what did you say?
What? Who, me?
I mean, he's walked. Yeah. What did you ask?
I thought you said like that's where Indiana Jones came from.
No, not Indiana Jones. He walked from India to China, or a horse or something. I don't know.
Well, we named the dog Indiana.
Okay, Virginia didn't know that I was specifying Zen Buddhism specifically.
I heard you say it several times.
Listen, streams, there's a lot going on in streams. Courtney's here.
I definitely am here.
That's true, yeah. The Zen Buddhism specifically in China is like a sort of conflagration of Mahayana Buddhism, Taoism, and like sort of sometimes Confucianism too.
No. Which monks are the ones setting themselves on fire? Because that's really a conflagration.
I don't think anyone's setting themselves on fire anymore, but that was in Vietnam. I don't know what kind of monks they were either. I don't know if they were Buddhist monks or not.
I just wanted to make a joke about you saying conflagration.
Some people still get bit by snakes in like the South. I don't know what the snakes do, but I know that some churches do that snake biting stuff.
Yeah, I mean snakes bite people.
Yeah, well, a lot of different religions involve snakes biting people on purpose, like kind of for fun, or to prove how buddy you and God are.
That does sound fun.
I bet it hurts like shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like snakes have flexible teeth, like
No.
They puncture, but they're still kind of soft, where you can like milk their teeth for the venom.
That doesn't matter.
Oh.
Virginia says Taoism is fun if you haven't checked out the original texts. I have not read those. I know most of what I know about Buddhism because of drinking tea. And there's a lot of stuff that I had to relearn about tea because of people's tendency to talk about Chinese tea in a way that is unnecessarily connected to Buddhism.
Oh, have you guys ever... Wait, Keith, you're a man of tea. Have you ever tried the tea where it's the pretty flower and it blooms when it's hot?
I have had those. They usually don't taste great, but they are really fun.
I've had nest tea.
What's that?
Huh?
I've had nest tea.
Nest tea. That's the good stuff.
Some people, it is the good stuff in Georgia with the sugar tea, sweet tea.
Ice Cream Jones says the most famous self-immolation in Vietnam was a Mahayana Buddhist monk protesting fascist U.S.-supported government persecution of Buddhists. That sounds about right.
Have you guys ever had sweet tea?
Fascist U.S. government? That doesn't sound right.
Fascist government backed by the U.S., but your sarcasm there was noted anyway.
Can I tell you this?
Yeah.
Here's a story about sweet tea. I went to a McDonald's the other day. I asked for a Dr. Pepper, and they said their carbonation was broken, and they only had uncarbonated drinks. And I said,
"This is the McDonald's?"
Yes.
Did you ask for an uncarbonated Dr. Pepper?
Did you ask for a milkshake and the milkshake machine was broke?
Well, when I worked at McDonald's like 7 years ago or something, they had sweet tea, and I said, "Do you have sweet tea?" And he said yes, And then I got up to the window, and they gave me a big iced tea, and I drove away, and there was no sugar in that iced tea.
That happens to me
so
all the
pissed.
time. That happens a ton.
Wait, there's two different types.
Sometimes,
There's iced tea and sweet tea.
well,
I
sweet
asked for
tea is
sweet
iced
tea.
black tea with sugar in it. But if you ask for iced tea, what they'll usually give you is black tea,
I've never
unsweetened.
been to McDonald's.
Never?
Well, not as an ever since my mom found out you can just buy the toys without buying food. I've never been to McDonald's for the food. I only buy the toys by the bulk.
What?
Like in the 90s when McDonald's had some like real good toys, like I just wanted
Yeah,
the
the
toys.
heyday.
Yeah.
But like I remember in the 90s, like the toys are much better at McDonald's than they are now.
That's impossible.
No, they used to have them Polly Pocket toys, and they had the Barbies with the brushable hair, and they had the Mulan flexible toys with the joints in them. It had some good toys. Y'all
Look,
don't even know.
There were some good ones, but there were some definite clunkers.
Yeah, for sure. I like the there was the fucking bug transformers. I liked those. Those are my favorites.
Mini Beanie Babies, man.
Oh, those
Oh,
were
yeah,
also
those are
really
also
good.
Oh,
My mom was
teeny
Wait, they
beanie
had
babies.
Madame
Teeny
Alexander
beanies,
dolls
yeah.
at McDonald's, because I know my mom is crazy for those, and she went to every McDonald's to buy up just the Madame Alexander dolls at McDonald's.
I feel like I know that this is impossible, but when Courtney's on a stream, I feel like we talk about everything. Like
Everything.
I feel like but I know that every time we talk, we talk about different stuff. But I'm like, how could we talk about everything multiple times and still be hitting new things?
Is that good or bad?
It's neutral. It could be. It's all what you bring to it. I'm talking you, anybody, the listener, you.
Do you think the listeners enjoy it, other than the ones that hate me?
Yes, I think the ones that don't hate you enjoy it, and I think most people enjoy it. But
I feel like your fans are very polarized on me.
I don't think that's true. I think it's almost everybody likes you. If they didn't, we wouldn't have you on.
Yeah, I don't really remember any comments where people are like, "Oh, Courtney's bad."
I guess it's either like
The worst
I
thing
get it
is-
in private, or like it's just the times when I get in private, it's either really weird or really bad. But the bad ones don't faze me as much as like the really creepy ones.
I mean, there are a lot of comments where people are like, I would say, taken aback.
Yeah, or like confused, or
They're like, "Whoa, Courtney is a thing."
yeah, that's a big one. Is like Courtney sure is a lot, or something like that.
A lot of good.
And that's what I always say. I always say a lot of good. And then I say, shut up, her goldfish died. Her goldfish named fish died.
Well, next time I'll ask the fish what they want to be named.
I mean, listen, I'm not trying to rub your nose in it or anything, Courtney, but like, dying is really Goldfish's bread and butter. When you get right down to it, it's what they're best at.
Now,
No,
I said the opposite thing, because goldfish can actually live a really long time if you care for them properly.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true.
They grow. I told Courtney that she should have gotten a bigger tank, and the fish would probably have grown bigger, and brighter
now I'm gonna
too.
get a bigger tank.
That same thing with. This is public service for anybody that's got one of those beta fish. Beta
Don't put 'em in
fish.
plants.
What's that?
Like I see people, they be putting the beta fish in like plant jars and stuff,
Yeah.
like aesthetically.
Those jars that they sell them in are not big enough. Put
No.
them in a real tank. Beta fish
Yeah.
need I would say 8 times as much space as the little things that they come in.
Yeah.
I want to get a beta fish, but you can only get one beta fish. You can't get multiple fishes.
You can get
I don't want the beta fish to eat the other fish.
you can get other fish. There are certain fish that you can get that it will cooperate with and not try to kill. But you have to do research into it. I think it was Isaac had a betta fish that killed itself trying to attack its reflection because it could see a mirror, and it just bashed itself against the wall of the tank until it died.
Oh my god!
Yeah, so you have to be really careful with betta fish. They're very aggressive. I would say to a fault.
I just stick to goldfish. I thought I wanted a betta fish, but they sound so violent.
Yeah, well, do some fish are cool. Do some research. Get it. Just make sure whatever tank you think is big enough. Try getting one twice as big.
Man, I have like a 3-gallon tank. I'm gonna have to get
Fish
like a.
are
You're gonna have to get like a
gross.
18-gallon tank.
I just want one goldfish.
If you want one goldfish, you can get a 10-gallon tank. Or maybe you could get
These
2
people are
goldfish
so
for a 10-gallon
hardcore.
tank. The more fish you have, the smaller the tank per fish can be.
I just want one fish. I can't love multiple fishes.
I don't know, man. Like, I still don't feel like I've ever encountered an animal.
Really?
that
Never?
was I've never encountered.
I just feel that way.
I've never encountered a species of animal. Oh, am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Wait, yeah.
I've never encountered a species of animal that was worth the hassle of owning it as a pet besides cats, and cats like just so barely make it.
Well,
What about a dog? I want a dog so bad because I think it would love you and like they're cute. I want like a miniature, one of those Pomeranian tiny ones.
No, having a dog sucks because it's kind. I mean, just to steal the joke that John Hodgman uses, it's like a perpetual toddler. It's like.
Yeah, toddlers love you. It's like all the fun parts of a toddler, but without all the crappy parts like a diaper.
Yeah.
No,
you're
all
about
the
to
crappy
you're
parts
about to
are
have
totally there.
everyone disagree with you about this.
Have you ever had a dog, Kyle? Like,
Yeah,
have you ever
Kyle has
pet
had a
Yes,
dog.
wild
yes,
dog?
I have had a dog.
Although
I
that
don't
dog
like
was
any
really
animals.
old, even when you were a kid.
I've had multiple dogs.
Oh, well,
you
okay,
had,
that
like, a
other
miniature
dog was
horse
also
at your
really
house?
old.
Well, Nicole has a puppy now, and I go there all the time, and that dog is also peeing all over the place, and it fucking sucks.
Yeah, well, you got to do
They
it.
have to pee.
I think a big problem with dogs is that people don't do a very good job training them in certain ways and then do too good of a job training them in other ways. Like, I think that people don't do a great job of, like, toilet training dogs and, like, making sure that they respond to calls.
It's
But
a
then they
lot
spend
of work.
But then they spend too much time, and then also not enough time walking them. And then they also spend too much time trying to teach them to do dumbass tricks like they're like dancing monkeys.
But
And
see, that's why I think the part that would be fun about having a dog is that you can walk it.
yeah,
No, well, that's the thing, Courtney. Is what you're thinking is it's fun because you can walk it, and that's not correct.
you
It's
have
not
to
that
walk
you
it.
can walk it. You must walk it constantly, all the time, and you can't not do it.
It's a lot of
well,
people who are not ready for the responsibility of having a dog shouldn't get a dog. And
Is there a
Kyle,
way
you're
that
just
I
one of
can,
those
like,
people.
rent a
You
dog?
would self-admittedly not ready for the responsibility of having a dog.
No.
But a lot of people
Yeah, no,
think
I-
they are, but aren't.
Oh yeah, like I think there are people out there that are totally on top of owning a dog and they're into it and they like it, and that's great. But that's never ever going to be me.
But could I rent a dog to see if like I could take care of it?
No, you can't do that.
Yeah,
they
they
have,
have
like,
like yeah, you can foster a dog.
You can foster it, but that's not renting the dog. You can't then choose to own the dog.
Oh, Keith, just work with her, please.
Okay, yeah, you can rent a dog. It's
Or,
called
like,
Block
can you buy
Barker.
dogs? Can you buy a dog that's already been trained, like has all the hard work programs?
Yeah,
into
it's called a pound. You go to the pound.
How would I know that dog has the training that I want for
You
it?
can ask to play with the dog, and you can tell it to sit. And if it sits, then you're good.
I don't care about the sitting. I just want it to tell me when it has to pee
It-
and like
It doesn't really tell you. but it will
What
like
is it?
bark. Like that's part of the thing is that like I understand what my cat wants when it's meowing, whether it's meowing because it's angry or because it's annoyed or because it's hungry or whatever. Like I understand like all my cat's behaviors, and that's because I've had my cat for a while and it's been with me for a while, and so we sort of have I guess sort of a mutual understanding. But so part of having a dog is like the two of you learn each other's shit, and so you can't
Literally.
you learn about each other's shit, and so there's not a dog that you'll get that like that knows everything and can communicate with you well, because you have to like learn what its particular dog shit is.
But see, if you have like a really tiny teacup dog where, you know, it's suffering to live, but it's so cute and tiny, like you wouldn't have to worry about all the pee and poop because it only has like an ounce of pee and like a little plop of poop.
But yeah, but like when you're cleaning that up like 3 to 4 times a day because your dog's not housebroken and you're bad at it, or it's not taking, or it's not working.
Well, I already got the dog that
it's a
already has
lot.
pre-training in it. So I just have to wait till it becomes like Detroit, become human, and we get like robot dogs.
Poochie, man.
Yeah, there's already robot dogs.
Yeah, we
just go
already
to
got
Boston
robot dogs.
Dynamics and get one of those military dogs.
I used to have one of those, like, you know, those old 90s dogs that was like the robot.
Yeah.
I literally just fucking said that.
That's what it was called.
Welcome to
Poochies?
10 seconds ago.
It was called Poochie?
Yeah. The little with the ears and it sits. Yeah.
Yep.
The big ass head.
And then, well, there was also.
But I want it with her.
There was two. There were two competing lines. And one had Poochie and Meowchi and Chirpy-Chi.
Why, like,
And
were,
the
like,
other
why
one
were
was something
robotic
else.
pets so big back in like the late 90s? Like, they had Furbies, they had the robot animals.
God, there should be a class action lawsuit against Furbies. That was the
I still
biggest
have my old
scam of
original
all
Did you
time.
guys see the long Furby?
Oh my god, I love it! It
No.
was like a special time, like you can only order from this girl every,
There's
like,
this.
anytime she
There's
opens up her
yeah,
store.
Kyle. I'm just gonna put a picture of the long Furby in the chat here.
Have you looked into Furby customization?
Here, look
like,
at that.
It's
This
such
is
a
someone's
cool...
Etsy project that they do.
But have you looked into like Furby customization now? Like
No.
old-fashioned Furbies, like people take old Furbies and they turn them into like monstrosities. Like the one guy on YouTube who turned turned like 90 Furbies into like an organ. So anytime you play a key, it makes a Furby noise. Or like the person who turned like a Furby, like multiple Furbies into like a ball, a Furby.
A furball.
The Furbies thing.
You guys gotta look up Furby customization. It's very dope what they're doing.
Stop! Oh my
It's-
god!
The innovation going on in the Furby market is out of this world.
Stop saying Furby customization.
I love Furby.
Do you?
Yeah, I have
We
my old
hate
original
them.
one.
Kyle and I
I
hate
only
them.
like the old one. Why?
Because they're weird and they don't shut up. They're annoying and they don't do anything.
They're
Yeah, but you can just
weird
take
and
the
annoying, and
batteries
they
out.
were a scam because they said that they learned things. They didn't learn shit.
Yeah, they
learned
never learned
something.
anything.
I mean, they learned how to trick us out of our money and make our parents go crazy in the 90s.
They didn't learn that. They knew that already. They already knew how to do that.
My
And it's
mom
by
said that
saying that
she-
they can learn.
My mom said that I cried about getting a Furby. That does sound like something I do.
By the way, I do want to say one thing about the dog thing. Is that the difference between a dog and a toddler is that you can play with a dog and toddlers are boring and don't know
Gross.
anything.
Yeah. And they poop.
Yeah.
Oh, all things poop.
That's the
well,
real
you know
trade-off
what?
is, like, you know, going... It's fun to play fetch with a dog. And it's
You
fun
But
also
you know
to...
what?
have to remember-
A dog never tells you to fuck off, mom. Like when it turns into
Yeah,
a
and when I was a
teenager.
kid, I definitely was... When I was a toddler, I definitely told my mom to fuck off.
I mean, like, you know, the dog never grows into an angsty teenager, is what I'm saying.
But I mean, another way that a dog is like having a kid is that, like, you suddenly can't be away from home for too long. Like, you can't just have
Oh.
one of those days where you go like, oh, fuck it, I'm just going to be out on the town all night. Because, no, you have to go home and let your dog out so that it can pee outside, not in your house.
Oh, I definitely can't have a dog then.
Well, you can crate train it or paper train it. There's solutions to that, but also you would have to make sure that the breed of dog that you're getting is the sort of breed that is cool with being left alone all day. That's another thing I think dog owners overlook is that you need to find a breed whose personality matches your lifestyle, and people just go like, I want a Shiba.
Oh, I heard those scream, like, if you look on YouTube, they're like, yeah, rah, rah, rah. They're like, scream real loud.
I wouldn't call it screaming, but they like do a howl sort of thing.
Maybe
No, it
Courtney
definitely
needs
sounds
to
like a
get.
scream.
Maybe Courtney needs to get one of those little dogs that she can carry around everywhere.
Yeah,
That's what she wanted, yeah.
but-
Honestly,
Yeah, but
I
did
used
you
to
know that
be.
you have to like push their like butt glands because they don't make poops big enough for their glands.
Dogs are real fucked up.
Yeah. People really
It's
did a
only for
number on
small
the
dogs.
wolf. Well, I know that Kyle, your sister has one of those little dogs.
Yeah.
And that dog sold me on little dogs. I don't want one, but I used to think that they
It's-
were obnoxious. But that's a good dog.
That is a good dog, yeah.
Yeah, that's like one of my favorite dogs, I think.
It is the chillest dog.
Got a rare one over here.
And everyone loves that dog too. Like she brings it to every
Yeah.
party, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, this tiny little thing!" And it just sort of like runs around, like trots around. It's very funny.
Yeah, it just hangs out.
Just hangs out. It's not afraid of people's feet. It doesn't bark. It doesn't shit anywhere. It's it's just a good
You
dog.
know, like a lot of tiny dogs suffer from like their what do you call it? Their bark boxes like get strained. A lot,
Oh
'cause-
shit! Steak eater with a very important piece of information here. This is the real Entei.
How can you? Oh, because of
The
the
level.
music?
It's level 40.
Oh, I thought it was because of the.
No, it's
battle
level
music.
40. This is the actual real Entei. I can catch this. That means that I can catch it.
Also,
You
is no one
fucking
noticing it
goober.
has unique battle music?
All of the bosses do, even if it's a fake one.
Oh.
Yeah, there was like a Palkia or something that we saw in a Lugia that we saw in one of the caves, and it did like this intense boss music sting because it's the actual boss for the game, so it like had an extra animation and stuff. All right, fingers crossed.
Don't kill it.
No!
Oh, shit.
Oh boy. Well, that's fine. That's fine.
What level are you?
Not
What level
yet.
is what? Like my Pokemon?
Yeah.
30, low 30s. Everyone's either 31 or
What else
32.
would I be?
Well, you said what level am I?
Did you answer my question? You cut out.
Oh, level.
Oh.
Everyone's level 31 or 32.
Yeah.
Well, Kyle, you were gonna go to sleep.
Yep.
Do you want to go to sleep?
I don't want to go to sleep, but I have to go to sleep.
Okay, yeah. That's fine. We did some good work today. Getting everybody here up to level low 30s. I'm gonna do a little bit more of this on my own, and then when we're ready to go to a new area, I'm gonna do a new stream. Probably maybe Friday. Maybe we'll do a stream Friday.
Like, you should invite me. I still have more stuff to talk about always.
I'll think about it.
Oh. Let more fish die.
Listen, as always, you can go to contentburger.biz to find the Run Button Patreon, and that's a really great way to make sure that we're doing streams.
Oh yeah, because I tried to trick them into not tricking, but I tried to give you guys a suggestion that you guys should have ads, and they were like, no, we're never gonna have ads ever.
Yeah. Courtney was saying that we should get like corporate sponsors for the show, and Kyle and I had to explain that neither would that pay us enough money to be worth it, or would we want to do it probably even if it was. So patreon.com/runbutton or contentburger.biz. That's the only way to support the show. Kyle, do you have any upcoming projects you like to plug? Do you have any performance dates? Do you have a movie coming out?
My album drops on the 19th.
On the 19th, September 19th?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Kyle, what's it called?
Kyle Churchill. The album's called Self-Titled. It's not a self-titled album. The name of the album is self-titled.
How many tracks? Is it
We'll
an
get that
EP or an
mixed up.
LP or a double LP?
Oh yeah. Hey guys, when are we ever gonna get that run button Discord?
Shut up.
I
Oh,
keep meaning to.
Um,
But to answer your question, it's actually a triple LP.
Okay,
Is
how
that
many
like
tracks?
3 CDs?
30 tracks?
36, baby.
36? Can you name a couple? What are your
Yeah,
favorites?
I got
Give me 10.
That's not my badger.
Okay, 1.
Okay, I got Skitchin' to School.
2.
That was a good one. I got
I have a question.
Hold on,
I
Kyle's
got-
giving us his titles to his 10 favorite tracks on his triple LP.
got Roller Rink Reject.
Okay, 3.
And and I have a cover of Piano Man by Billy Joel.
That's 4.
Hmm.
I am gonna need 6 more.
And that's
Oh man, I didn't get to tell you guys about all the YouTube fetishes I've been finding.
Are you watching people crush watermelons with their thighs?
No, it's more like people sneezing and then people like lowering themselves.
You seen the ones where people throw cream pies at women in bikinis?
No.
what?
Have you seen the squishing fruit with your toes one?
No, but I should look into it.
Yeah, you should look into these. There's a lot of people that'll just pay women to smoke on camera. That's one.
Oh, I also have seen like the what do you call it? The sand that people sink into. What's that called?
A microphone?
No. Like the people they sink into the sand. But
Oh,
it's like,
quicksand.
Yeah, quicksand fetishes on YouTube.
I thought you said a stand that people sing
Did
into.
you need to be prompted for quicksand?
It's sand that
Like,
that
what's
makes
that-
you sink real quick. What's that
What's
called?
that kind of sand that you sink into?
Okay, Kyle, I do need 6 more songs.
No.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.